Good evening, everyone. It's Sunday, it's the end of the week, it's Father's Day here in the UK, and it's time for us to be jumping into some more good old Warframe. Welcome on in, everyone. Hope you're doing well where you are around the world, and indeed, any of you celebrating Father's Day today, I hope you have had a wonderful day, and I certainly hope your father has had a wonderful day as well. Those of you who are not celebrating it, whether due to location or otherwise, I hope you've had a good day all the same. Welcome on in, everyone. Welcome indeed. We are so close to the update now. We are 2 days away from Jade Shadows. You talking where it pulls up a full screen feed and... Alright, you're speaking to someone else and didn't hit reply. Cool, that's fine. Always use your reply button. Or at the person. Cosmo saying, has anyone on mobile got this new awful update? Can barely even navigate stream. Twitch mobile has always sucked. I don't actually use Twitch mobile to the point that my phone tried putting the app into deep sleep because I didn't open it. Yeah. That's what it comes down to. Someone say, all good, made 250 plat today and got enough test subjects for Warframe inspired card game. Oh, well, fair enough then. Fair do, fair do. Alrighty, now as the stream title would suggest, today is about a bit of restocking. We're taking things a little bit more casual, as it were, because the update is still just around the corner, and hey, it's not like we've got prime sets or anything to prepare for, so why not just get some general cracking in, eh? Why not? Also, I think I haven't done the Netracells this week. I've only done the EDA, not the actual Netracells, so we should probably bash that out first. That might be a smart idea. That might just be a smart idea. So let's get all that lot put together, shall we? Let's get a crew together and annihilate some stuff. So if you'd like to join me on some Netracells real quickly before we go on to the actual coffer stocking, send me a message in game, the Engineer, just like Mirrorlabe has there, and I'll bring you on into the squad. Mirrorlabe, come and take spot number 1. We got Solomir there, looking to claim spot number 2. Splendid. And have we got a number 3? Have we maybe got a number 3? Are they up there? Whilst that loads up, let's have a look here. Yeah, those weapons will work. Those weapons will always work, they're fine. One more spot available to join us on 3 Netracell runs. Yeah, the Twitch app has always been a bit... So if they've made it worse, I am not surprised, unfortunately. I am not surprised. You know what, however, has improved? That is the merch store. That is right, exclamation mark merch. The merch store is up and running once again under a new platform. Some new items on there, some old classics, all absolutely available for you and shipping to most countries around the world. So if you want to get yourself a lovely mug, if you want to get yourself some pins, if you want to get yourself a shirt, if you want to get yourself some stickerinos, take your pick. Those items are available and more on the merch store now. Enjoy. What are my thoughts on them making EDA easier? The only thing I've heard about EDA being made easier is the duration debuff being reduced from -75% to -50%, which quite frankly is necessary because that was always the one I would deselect every single time because it is just so destructive to so many builds and so many options. It is unfairly powerful compared to the others. Yeah. Aside from that, though, I'm not aware of any other things being made easier for EDA, so unless you got something specific to talk about, I don't really follow the question. Like I was saying, 20 ounce mug would probably be like centiweight sugars to me. Yikes, that is unhealthy. Yeah, that's a lot of sugar, dude. That is a lot of sugar. And we have our final squad member. Come on in, Zelensky. Welcome on in. There we go, splendid. Alright, let's take this group down. We're going to go head on into Zemos. I also realise I haven't done the Archon Hunt. Whoopsie doodle. I'm really good at keeping up with weeklies when I have a week off, yep. What frame is this? This is Lavos. Exclamation mark Lavos if you want to learn more about him, absolutely. I got you covered on his abilities. I got you covered on his augments. I got you covered on even why you would want to play him. I got you covered.
Over here, if you please.
Alrighty, let's have a Ganarinos. Hello, Tacta. Netracells. Yep, 3 out of 5. Let's get those cracking, shall we? Fair enough, Moose. I mean, describing that as making EDA easier is, I dare say, hyperbolic. I dare say that is hyperbolic. That's about... that is about equivalent to saying that Relic cracking is getting buffed because someone can reach an even higher mastery rank and therefore store a few more traces. Like, that's not really Relic's getting buffed. That's just a process going forwards. It's about the same level of general buffage. It's more just removal of an issue.
This is gonna hurt.
Castelcrow, you're gonna need to have a longer question than that. No one answers just what. Not in a way that helps you. Someone's going to sprint to the Netracell. Fair dude. Let me say, I think about broadly with all the changes they've made since launch, as for new changes, that was it. I mean, yeah. The changes since launch have not exactly been that spectacular. What other changes do you think there are worth discussing at this point? What else is in need of being addressed? Well, Castlecross, or Castlecrow even. I'm not sure I can properly fit you in because, again, you say, I'm sorry, I missed the argument that you were comparing to. I actually don't know which of the two you're missing. So, quite frankly, it's a live stream. You can rewind if needed. You can. I know it's not the easiest here on Twitch, but you can rewind by clicking on my icon and going to the VOD live. Or otherwise, just follow with it. If you miss something on the live stream, you tend to miss it. Sorry. What are the downsides of live being live, you know? Mirror Live's already got that. I should be going the other way. So I was going to say armor change to make it easier, but not ADA specific. Yup. And that's not out yet. And that's assuming that the armor does get brought down to a level that makes it significantly easier. It's not necessarily the case, to be quite honest. Most EDA enemies are in fact not armored. And when it comes to, what do you call them? Necromechs, they have a different kind of damage reduction going on as well. There's a whole bunch to really process. This is why there's not been a video this week, is because pretty much everything I want to talk about for the game is in some way impacted by the update coming out. And so there is... Ooh, let's just get rid of this before it does anything. I don't think I did that in time. Anyway, let's get away from these enemies. I just wanted to stop that one. As I say, yeah, the reason I haven't done a video this week is because everything I want to talk about has been in some way
5 months
connected.
And almost a year in total amuse holy.
Yo! Yo, Shezbot, thank you very much for the 9 months of support. Thank you very much indeed on that. Cheers. Cheers indeed. And Fox Hunter for the hydrate. As I was saying, everything is getting affected in some way. Everything I wanted to cover is just all up in the air, so there's nothing to cover. I did not want to put out a video in this last week before the update and then have the update come out and go, yeah, you're wrong. That would just suck. So I haven't. I have functionally taken the week off. I say functionally because I've still been streaming. I've still been working on the merch store, so we've been making changes here and there. Elsewise, it's not been a full week off, but it's been a week of not making videos. Is the week off. I hope that makes sense. I'm saying the health increased armored enemies could honestly make it harder. We don't know the numbers. So as much as it could, that is so much of a we don't know that it's almost not worth considering. DE have held the numbers so close to their chest, I hope that DE actually know what the numbers are and run them through. Because we have nothing to assess and address there. The most we have is an offhand comment by Pablo suggesting an armor cap of 2700, and yet even that isn't mentioned anywhere else other than that one dev stream. It could be incorrect, it could be correct at the time but since changed, it could be with or without the steel path modifier. And then damage attenuation is still a thing as well. On top of the health change they suggested, post level 70 to enemies. I'll send it actually to be. It's a pretty nice weapon. I did a whole video on it. I recommend you check it out if you want to know more about using it in this beam of death. Liar, I'm not sure about your question there. Also, Necromech Demolisher doesn't give me enough to answer what you're asking, sorry. That one's dead. Rex, I'm curious for the cold changes. As Frost has a fun little augment, and with technical action been able to put up a ton of cold procs on enemies quickly. Yeah, Frost and action both in fact do cold, you are right. That is indeed a thing they do. You want to check New Blast? We don't even know what New Blast is. We have the headline, Blast will blast, explosion on proc, something something, stacks on death, more boom. We have very little. We have very, very little to work on. Alright, Zon, you take care. Hope you're doing well. And if not, I hope you recover quick soon. If there'll be an armor cap, does it affect Necromech Demolishers too? We don't know. This is the problem. D haven't told us what the armor cap is. If it's a hard cap, if it's a soft cap, isn't even set out. So they may have it as a soft cap rather than a hard cap. We don't know. More likely it'll be a hard cap, but we don't know. Most likely it will apply to all enemies, but we don't know. It is 20,000 we don't knows, and if this sounds slightly frustrating, now imagine being the person that writes guides for Warframe as his main job and income. We don't know. So, we'll have to wait and see. There's going to be a lot of details coming in. Or blast, fill, blast, whatever that means. Yeah, Andrew. My problem with blast causing shockwaves from enemies is that it doesn't feel blasty to me. Shockwaves are what blast does, but blast doesn't cause something else to become a grenade. You don't set off a bomb next to someone and then that someone spontaneously explodes a moment later as their own bomb. Whereas every other damage type in the game, its effect is the result of receiving that damage. Corrosive melts armor. Heat causes you to ignite. Magnetic interferes with force field technology. Close enough we got on that, that works. And draining of energy, yeah, disrupting energy sources, that makes sense. Toxin, damaging health over time, yeah, that makes sense. Slash causing you to bleed, makes perfect sense to me. Impact surrogating you, makes perfect sense to me. But blast causing something to become a grenade? No, that doesn't make sense. Shockwaves penetrate and shatter. Or they can disorientate. They can cause dizziness, blindness, internal bleeding. All kinds of various bits and pieces, but they don't cause it to explode. Should blast ragdoll people. That's what it was multiple updates ago. That is what it was. Cheers, Dark Wolf Steel.
Come on. Let's at least
also, yay! Archon Shard. Halfway pop.
Yeah. What'll it be?
Netracells.
Works for me.
As also, ironically, I wonder if Frost will even notice the cold changes that much. At least the vulnerability. Biting Frost, in my experience, isn't that noticeable. We'll see. We shall see, won't we?
The anchor hole. Where all Rex stored the key glyphs. Grab them.
Game's frozen and we'll need a sec. Fair enough.
But you're not cracking a Netracell without them.
Yep, you're not in the squad, I notice. So, re-invite. There you are. You should be able to get back in as soon as you unfreeze. If you've had to close and reopen, send me a message. We might be able to bring you in still. If not, we'll bring you in for the final mission.
You got your glyphs.
You've already done your cells? Alright, there you are. So if you can get in, you can. And if not, it's up to you, really. Up to you on that still. Alright then, I am going to head straight to this one forwards. Solomon has gone towards the left. That works out. Mirrorblade most likely will take the middle pathway. That speed boost from a Volt is very nice. Very strong and high duration, which means it allows me to get all the way to that one and then most of the way over to the next one before it runs out. And then I can just use my own speed boost, which isn't as strong because I'm not Volt, but it still gives me a speed boost. We've already got all the Netracell location narrowed down. Bedusil. Yeah, if you're having PC issues, go for the reboot, yeah. So was also saying, it's a bit weird for Toxin to be one of the best types on shielded robots. Yeah, I agree on that.
Wrong key glyph. Try a different one.
There are various ways that could be handled, not least of which they could have it where Toxin proc could have no effect on robotics. Toxin damage still, yes, but Toxin proc, no. They could make it where Toxin damage doesn't bypass shields. And so you would need to use... only Toxin procs would bypass shields, you would still need to break through their shields for actual Toxin damage to hit health. There are various ways of re-implementation, and it depends on just how much they want to hit Toxin, if indeed they want to hit it at all. But I will agree that Toxin is probably the biggest barrier to making anything else more impressive against shields. Because why deal with shields when you can just not? That's a very reasonable question for anyone to ask themselves. Why deal with shields when you can just not? Chess will say, it really depends on how Toxin is interpreted in Warframe. I've seen many devs have different definitions. Fair point. Fair point. It would have to be distinct from anything corrosive, because that's corrosive. So, toxic, one would expect to be some kind of chemical agent which is destructive. And typically chemical agents which are destructive in a non-corrosive manner would be considered anti-biological. That's what one would expect. But yeah, you're right, it is open to interpretation. There is no fixed definition in this game because it's a video game. Double saying, Cold will now grant bigger crit bonuses on frozen enemies than with just cold procs. I think, except it's getting it, which could make the technical action decent crit weapon on Frost specifically. Not sure how it works, but it's something to look into. Yeah, there's going to be synergies and things that work together in ways that haven't worked together before, or not as strongly. But it's still a case of there's a whole bunch of changes. We'll see how it shakes out. Hey, it's alright, right? If you got some tech you want to be happy about it. It's fine. You didn't post anything inappropriate, you didn't take over channels, and you didn't post into the incorrect channels, so there's no problem there. Did Lavos Umbra gunplay build, and it maybe wants to do the same with Hydroid. Alright, go for it. I mean, I have a Hydroid guide if you want to see a specific build for Hydroid and gunplay, but otherwise, yeah, go for it. Do as you do. Like I was saying, should be powerful against any flesh enemy then. If you're talking about Toxin, then it already is able to hit all flesh on all enemies. Yeah. As for it maybe not being effective against all types of flesh, well, first of all, that's changing anyway with the next update. Again, another thing that's caused videos to wait. Secondly, different biology is going to be weak to different things. Like, we can consume chocolate. Well, most of you can, I can't. We can consume chocolate. Where marker? Yeah, good question. Whereas dogs cannot. Dogs can't have chocolate. Oh, there we are. Is Toxin Viral viable? You can only get Toxin Viral by having a Toxin weapon and then a viral direct addition, such as with Lavos' Valence Formation or with Grendel's Nourish. Or you need to have a viral base weapon and then use only Toxin modding. So they are possible. Viable is a different question. And that will come down to the rest of your modding. So you can work them together, and maybe it's the right choice, maybe it's not. I really dislike that this zone doesn't quite reach the enemies at the ground. Let the doorway there. I have to wait for them to reach that line for them to count. Come on. Nope, apparently he hadn't actually stepped over the line. And I've got a chaining weapon, which means it'll chain to the ones outside of... Can it be pulled off by Viral, Innate, and Toxin Progenitor? What weapon is Viral, Innate with a Toxin Progenitor, Shedspot? Just out of curiosity. What weapon is that? Because there might be one that I'm forgetting. I'm trying to remember now. Come on, step in the zone. Doubt it. There's no weapon like that yet. I hope it'll change in Infestations. Well, fair enough, Showspot. So to put it simply, as and when we get a weapon which has innate viral and also can have a progenitor bonus, which you may choose Toxin, that would give you a weapon which is both viral and Toxin, yes. It will be a relatively low amount of Toxin, which could be raised up to 60%, so then... Yeah, 25 to 60%, so not relatively low, actually. It's a workable amount of Toxin. Point is, you could also just then apply Toxin Mod. You don't need a Toxin Progenitor, so long as you didn't have a combining Progenitor. Say if you use Impact or Magnetic, you could still just apply a Toxin Mod. Yeah. Alrighty. Mission 2 out of 3 down, and that is another Ambushard. Also, apparently Solomir's got the qualification there, 100 kills to lower security. Alright, so the game's tracking that, of all things. Let's see if we can bring back Silencio.
I was thinking. No.
The interplay of voice lines there, kind of silly. I was thinking, long pause. Yo. Good thought. Good thought.
For an old guy to build, let's crack that thing.
Silencio appears to be offline. Ah. That's, that... Very back, Sil. Very back. Welcome back. Yes. We'll run without you, it's fine. You already said you'd done them. Hello, Moon. Welcome on in. Oh, yeah, hello, cat. You gonna sit there again?
The
No, sorry, not playing right now. Don't go for my hand.
For the lab's defenses.
Doing.
But those same defenses
Bloody cat.
will see you as undesirable. Easy come, easy go. To leave the anchor hold, you need all.
Yeah,
4
cat won't be on
Eagles.
camera. She don't do that.
Good luck
We've been over this plenty of times. I do not wish to be scratched today. She really scratched up someone in the house earlier when they tried to pick her up while she was sneezing.
Hit the
She did
terminal to
not
exit
like
into the
that.
labs.
Liar? Cheers. Oh. The door open. I can feel the cold on my ankles. Just feels weird. Very sensitive to temperature change on your legs and ankles like that. So when she leaves the door open and gets a breeze, because there's a difference between hot small office with computer running and, you know, me in here, versus not as hot outside. I just feel the temperature difference very easily. Anyway, that door's closed. Cat sat down. Yep, cat is splodge. Yeah. Let's get this terminal up.
This is it. Use the key glyph and get ready for whatever happens next. That wasn't the right key glyph. Try again.
Yeah, I'm on my way with the key glyphs. No one else picked any up, so you'll just have to wait for me. That was not the way to bullet jump out of that. Yeah, Silent Night, it's singular ticket, not tickets plural. You cannot have tickets, you can only have ticket. All attempts to get more than one ticket will not give you more than one ticket. People have tried, they have failed. Oop, there we are.
I was afraid of this. Netracells security system won't open with all the uglies around.
And let's
And make sure
thin down the
system
enemies.
can see you doing
Good
it.
old Netracell defense, basically. All good, Silent Knight. All good. You would be surprised at the number of different kinds of mistakes that can happen when trying to claim a ticket. We'd see people whose phone just shoves in a space because surely a space comes after typing exclamation mark. I've seen people type ticker instead of ticket. I've seen people try tickets 100, at which point the bot goes, ah, nice try, here's one ticket. Or a reminder that they already have one ticket, something to that effect. Is fine. That was 40 million damage, okay. That's gonna be, yep, standard Banshee stuff. Banshee doing what Banshee do best. If Blast really becomes meta, asked Travis, could something like Prime Fulmination finally have some use? Prime Fulmination already has some use. So I don't know what you're asking there. It is literally a huge AoE increase. It got nerfed because it was so huge. I may have been the one to point this out to D. But yeah, it is a huge area increase and even bigger spherical increase when you account for the fact that then it's cubic in effect rather than squared. And has absolutely nothing to do with blast procs. Because if you put that onto, say, the Tenet Envoy, you can have Tenet Envoy with 0 blast. So the two do not work together. Me, monster? No! I helped increase build diversity by making it where Prime Fulmination was a more balanced mod and therefore no longer a required mod for your setups. You thought Prime Fulmination only worked with blast procs? Interesting. How did you come to this conclusion, Travis? Liar, exclamation mark, Lavos. Exclamation mark build doesn't work because there is no way for the bot to know which frame I am using. Alternatively, you could just look at the Warframe overlay that is on your screen on the Twitch stream itself, although that may be slightly delayed. If you subsume Warframe of Archon shards to helmet, do you lose the shards? Yes. I believe it should say this in the actual subsuming Warframe interface, but yes.
Once again, thank you for the high quality videos. Keep up the great work.
My absolute pleasure on that there. AO Master, thank you very much for resubscribing at 3 months now. You got that lovely silver badge next to you. Cheers for that. Get ourselves back in. Where's the zone? Oh, I'm in the zone. It just wasn't in the map. Alright, yep. Opening the big map and closing it again brings back the zone. Trying to say, I found out about Prime Fulmination, still have to use it, so yeah, okay. She found out about it, and then actually hadn't found out about it and didn't use it either. Right. Yep, that. Alright. No further questions. Ah. No more Necromech. No more all of that lot. Saboteur, after the update, Lavos enjoyers like us might need to retake damage types and proc effects class. Don't worry, I'll be doing a new class on that. Because there are so many changes to so many procs in so many ways, there will be a brand new video going over all of the different details when it comes to both damage types and damage effects. You will have a single, up-to-date, thorough guide on that matter, don't you worry. Alright, Netracell time. Boop.
Albrecht didn't want anyone in here. I want to know why.
Should I say, Archon Continuity and Level Surveillance Augment is quite a busted combo. I don't get what those two have to do with each other, sorry, Chessbot. I'm not following.
What Albrecht planned on doing with that.
Archon Continuity will apply a corrosive proc if I apply Toxin with an ability. Valence Formation does not cause ability damage. Yeah, I'm not sure what combo you think is happening there. Oh. Melee Duplicate. Wonderful. I do like these far more generous drop tables. It actually feels worth the effort and level we've reached to acquire these items. Much better. No Chessbot, no. I made it clear in the Valence Formation video, it gives you modded elemental damage with guaranteed elemental proc of the type you are using. That is not an extra attack, it is not an ability attack. So it doesn't function like Toxic Lash, it functions like Nourish. Only you can choose the element, and it's just for you, you don't give it to your friends. Miralabe, Solomir, and for one run, Slanzy, thank you very much for joining me on the runs there. I'm trying to say, but Prime Fulmination is a pistol mods are probably good with Epitaph. Yeah, Prime Fulmination can work on the Epitaph, yeah. And any other secondary with a radial effect that is sufficient enough to require value having its radius increased. Yeah. If you've got a radius of like 1.5, then Prime Fulmination is not going to do a lot. If anything is within the range for 1.5 plus 44%, it was probably in range of 1.5. It's not going to make a lot of difference, not for the whole mod slot. But if you've got a range of, say, like 4 or 5, then 44% on top of that, that makes a considerable difference. You'll feel that difference. Hello, Ruti. Welcome on in. Alright, with the Netracells all sorted now, as it says in the title of the stream today, we are restocking the coffers. So, no we are not. I've got an Archon hunt to do. Mobile Defense, Interception, Showdown. That is genuinely boring. Let's get the Archon shard. It's 20%. Blah, 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 blah. You know what? Yeah, let's just... yeah. If you would like to join me for Primed Waiting to get a Crimson Archon shard, if you've not already done it this week, because let's face it, we're at the end of the week, you could join me on that. Send me a message in game, The Kengineer. If you have a free space, yeah, we'll put Miralabe at the back of the queue, because we are open to others so far. Likewise on Solomir. I'll give everyone else just a moment if you'd like to join in. Exclamation mark join if you don't know how to do that. So we'll just keep the spots open, otherwise I will just bring these two in. I'm only going to give everyone else a moment on that. How? Exclamation mark join if you don't know how to send a message in game to someone. There you are. You basically just copy that message, paste it into Warframe, boop. Then I know exactly who I'm inviting. Simple as that. Saboteur will say, I hope D will make ability imbued elements don't get mixed with weapons modded elements. Lol, it's annoying when I bring Pure Tox weapons corpus missions and Vault Shock Troop turns into corrosive. Yeah, I get that it's annoying. It's not going to change like that, Saboteur. If there's going to be any change at all, it would be that you would not receive the bonus. Rather than you would be able to receive the bonus, but in a better way. Yeah. The whole point of the way it's done at the moment is that it combines with elements, allowing you to outsource elements. So say you could bring heat, intending for it to become radiation. That's the point. So yeah, that's not going to change in the way you want it to. Alright. Looks like no one else is on to do bits, that's fine. Most of y'all are just watching, you're watching, it's all good. Or if you don't want to do this, which, let's be honest, I fully understand. When you type it in, to any chat message ever, Silent Light. Literally, to send a message to anyone in the game at any point ever, it is literally the very message I've just given you, except you changed the name to whoever you are speaking, and changed the message to whatever you want the message to be. That is how you speak to people. That's how you start a conversation with them in Warframe. We are, however, going to get running, so if you are very quick about it, you might still be able to join in. But otherwise, we're not going to wait an incredible amount of time, because this stream is a live stream. People don't really like live watching a menu. So, quick as you can, or you'll have to sit back. That's just how it be. L'Oreal should say receiving the bonus so inconsistent. Volt's buff combines, Saren does not. That's not inconsistent. Saren's buff is corrosive. Corrosive can't combine. Volt's buff is electric. Electric can combine. There is nothing inconsistent about that. That is how element versus combined works. Unable to join, the objective has been completed. Sorry, Silent Knight. Too slow on the draw. Too slow on the draw. Alright. All good, Silent Knight. It's exactly why we have these commands, to help people get involved and know more about the game. Sorry, Toxic Lash is toxic? Yeah, but that's not the one that gets shared. L'Oreal. Okay, so here's the thing. You were talking about inconsistent, and yet you're not even talking about the same kind of buff now. Receiving the bonus, to receive a bonus from someone else, I would assume you're talking about the one that someone else gives you. Otherwise, you're comparing two entirely different abilities. Toxic Lash is a solo buff. It only applies to Saren, and it creates a second weapon hit that is toxic damage. It doesn't merge because it's not got anything to merge with. It's a separate hit. Meanwhile, Saren does have a shareable buff, which functions near identically to Shock Trooper. Both of them require an augment. Both of them on the first ability, both of them shared with allies in a radius, both of them applying a damage bonus in an elemental modded format for a specified amount of time. So I hope you can understand my confusion there. If you were referring to Toxic Lash, an entirely different ability, of course it'll seem inconsistent. Just as inconsistent as how Nourish will give you viral and energy, whereas Toxic Lash doesn't give you energy. They're different abilities. Straight up different. Yeah. I understand that it's confusing, and there is no changing that. Warframe is a confusing game. My god, do you have put in so many confusing bits, which could be very simply explained if they just had consistent explanation for why they are doing different things. So, absolutely, I can understand any misunderstanding on that side. I don't think any part of the Saren's mod card does it say Toxic Lash is a second hit. Scott was saying, so it's like Zaku's second void hit? Zarta's Whisper, yes. Which is why I talk about both Zarta's Whisper and Toxic Lash in the Sobek video, because they both cause the same effect in slightly different ways, because it's different damage type, different multiplier, and no force proc on Zarta's Whisper. But they are so similar that they are of the same function. Same family of abilities. Yeah, Warframe is overly complicated. If D had the time and attention and care to go through it, it would be brilliant to see them go through all of these different mods and abilities and actually update the descriptions to a consistent keyword format. Use technical language. Because then, you learn the technical language, you know what every ability does. You read a new ability, you know exactly what it does. Warframe doesn't give you that. If you want an example of where that does happen, I would say look to something like Magic the Gathering. Their keyword terminology means exactly what it means every single time. And if you want an example of how to do it poorly, you can have a look at Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, whereupon you have spell level and class level and multi-class level, effectively character level. And you can have enemy challenge rating, which is itself a kind of level, but not also a level. And then if you want to be technical about it, you've also got dungeon level. Yeah, good luck on that one. Or how about attack?
Realize this had run out until I got a
melee
nap,
attack and
but
melee
I
weapon
need my
attack.
snack emotes back. Can you poke snack?
Umbrella, thank you very much for resubscribing at 14 months. Indeed, you have got your snacks back once again there. Cheers indeed, my dude. I love that it even allows you to use the snack emote in the moment that you subscribe. Isn't that lovely? Cheers indeed. Cheers. Oh, I accidentally hit the glass next to the mug.
I have the Archon's trail. The hunt can begin.
Off we go out of here. In my opinion, which is the more confusing game? Either Line or Warframe? Warframe. Yeah, Warframe. So I don't say you are so right about that. It's a little description on the things that you play in Warframe. But if you go to anything else, you get a description about what it does. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. Very much so, yeah. The inconsistency maybe in the description of the ability, or lack thereof a description, rather than the actual function itself. Like I say, I still couldn't classify Warframe as a confusing game. Couldn't? You can't classify Warframe as a confusing game. So you see this mod here, Maglev, plus 30% slide, minus 30% friction. It costs 11 drain. You see this mod here, plus 30% slide, minus 30% friction. 7 drain. You want to say that's not confusing? You absolutely can, because I'm not coming in. Assuming the game lets you in halfway through, we'll see. Well, how about, if you go into here and you search trash, why does Urani come up? If you search trash in the market, I know the actual reason, but it's still a curiosity. I just wanted to throw that one out there, to be honest. I just wanted to throw that one out there. So I like, there you are, enjoyed. Cool. Larios is saying, to me, Toxic Lash and Shock do the same thing. No, they don't. Add element to attack, as nothing in game says it does anything else. I realise that those are different abilities, however. Right. But, like, Shock itself doesn't add electric to the ability, and Augment does. That's immediately separate. But I get it. You look at it in brief and it feels like it just adds Toxic. You look at it in brief and it feels like it just adds electric. So you think it should be the same thing, but it isn't. I get it. Warframe's confusing. They aren't the same thing. There's nothing inconsistent about the ability. It's inconsistent in description, and that is D in a nutshell. They cannot describe this game to save their life.
This facility is a
I mean that
communications
absolutely and
crossroads
seriously.
in armor.
They cannot describe this game to save their life.
To know what these
Luckily,
buildings flaw.
their life is not dependent on describing this game. Instead, mine is. My livelihood comes from describing this game. Still confused with casting speed. Like, is it 1 over time? What does plus 100%, 200% even mean? Yeah, so it's basically 1 over time, in a sense, yeah. So if your casting speed increases by plus 100%, your casting time goes down by 50%. Because that is, you have a base of 100% casting speed, which is a base of 1 over 100% casting speed for your casting time. If your casting speed becomes twice as good, then your casting time becomes half as long, and so on and so forth. It is straight at that. It's just like reload speed to reload time. Double the reload speed, half the reload time. You can think of casting speed like the reload speed of your ability. How long after you cast the ability is it going to take you to be able to do something again? casting speed is the reload speed of your abilities. What is North Wind different polarity there of your elemental mod? Elemental mods, cold was often considered the defensive in older Warframe, and that's why it got the D polarity for defensive mods, whereas the other three were considered the offensive mods. Yeah, that was the justification way back in the old day, is my understanding of it. You're teachers. Oh. Yeah, on the question earlier of which is more confusing, EVE Online or Warframe, definitely Warframe. It's just that Warframe is also easier to play. You can play Warframe incorrectly, not understanding it, and still succeed. You'll succeed poorly in a lot of cases. You might be the kind of person who will go through the new war struggling. You might be the kind of person who looks at Steel Path and goes, yeah, I completed it, I'm never going back there again. You can be the kind of person that never refines a relic, but you still get to open up rare items. In EVE Online, it's less confusing, but if you get it wrong, you die. No ifs, no buts, you get it wrong, you die. Yeah. Like I say, I've got a Cedar Ribbon I don't want, do you want it? I'm alright, thank you very much on that. You can happily either trade that to someone else, sell it, give it away, do as you do on that one. I appreciate the offer. I'm not looking to collect additional Cedar Ribbons. I already have at least one, if not multiple. But thank you. PvP versus PvE in a nutshell? Pretty much, yeah. Well, not just that actually. If you don't have the information in EVE PvE, you will get screwed over there too. Absolutely. To give you an example of that, there are 10 classes of what's known as anomaly complexes. Think like dungeons. Dungeons that spawn randomly that you can enter into. There's no gates, nothing stopping you from entering. You just go into it and you fight the NPCs. The NPCs spawn in waves. It's one single dungeon room. You fight them. The lowest of them is Hideaway. Then I think it goes Burrow and Refuge and so on up the line. You can also get variant types, which is supposed to be a bit harder, like Forlorn Hideaway. And I can tell you now that Forlorn Hideaways in EVE are substantially more difficult than a Hideaway. Despite sharing the rookie dungeon name, the Hideaway bit, they are much more difficult than I would say Refuge, even the next one above Refuge. That is confusing. And so if you don't know about that, you'll blunder into a much higher level dungeon and get obliterated. Yeah. And that's where not having the knowledge in EVE Online will just kill you. Yeah. Like Chaos saying, appreciate your informational YouTube videos. Just got back into Warframe after taking a couple years off. You are very welcome, my dude. And welcome back into Warframe. We've got a big old update coming next week on Tuesday, and I'll be having a series of videos on the changes that is bringing as well, so you can look forward to that too. Someone says played EVE Online for 16 years, fair do. I played it on and off for 12 years? 12 years. Hold on, do I not have it on here? Shoot. Ah well. Branding fail. I'm just going to hold this spot over here. A is defended. They've got that lot. I can get these bits from here. Come on. You did a few Alliance tournaments? Fair do, fair do. I've never been part of Alliance tournament myself. I've watched some of them, but I've never been part of it. And again, for anyone just joining us, we're talking about EVE Online with that. I didn't even realise that guy was an enemy. He was just bouncing around, and he acted like a friendly NPC. I didn't even realise that was an enemy there. Not gonna lie. Slightly embarrassing. Okay, let's grab some of this loot. Oh yeah, give me all of those. Give me all those intact cores. Look at that, 17 of them. I picked up 17 in quick succession there, and there's another 3. 20 intact cores just there. Man, they used to be a thing to farm. Now look at us. Now here's the side of EVE where it can be pretty damn simple. Just yesterday, I decided I was going to, why not? Direct enlist for a little bit in faction warfare. Meddle around in it. Faction warfare, you sign up with one of the major NPC factions and help them secure space in an ongoing war with an opposing major faction. Simple enough. It's like a really advanced form of capture points, King of the Hill. I say really advanced, just a grander form of King of the Hill. Well, sure enough, I joined up and went out to where the nearest location was to fight, at least the nearest location that was really close to us succeeding in taking over that system. I did a couple sites there, joined up with a couple people who were in a fleet together. We fought some sites, we won some. Eventually we encountered some resistance that was too strong and we died. I then grabbed a new ship a little bit later and discovered that the system was very close to being flipped over. There was a larger fleet coming together to get it over the edge and then take down the boss structure, as it were, the infrastructure hub. With very little effort on my part, I was in this fleet, on the Discord call. I was ready on the call when the fleet commander was like, hey, we need this people for this ship, people for this ship, and people for this ship. I signed up to be on the repair team, so I was going to be trying to run healer, effectively, healing everyone up. And sure enough, big fight happened, we lost some ships, we didn't lose other ships thanks to the healing team. The main objective was taken down, and because my ship survived, I was able to hand it back to the guy who was handing them out like hotcakes. Not Gila, healer. I was being a healer. I'm translating this, Salvatore. You might notice the language I've been using is very much non-EVE language for most of that. I'm not referring to the Garista's cruiser. In fact, I was playing on a Neros as logistics. You'll notice I never used the word logistics up to just now. So yeah, all went very well. That's a lot of gallium. Not gonna lie, that's a lot of gallium. As a result, we flipped the system. Hades has returned to control of the glorious Gallente Federation, no longer under control of the squids, who do not deserve it. Cheers to us. Freedom prevails. Yes, I sign up with a democracy fighting capitalism. I mean, it makes sense. Fighting space capitalism. Why wouldn't ya? No, except for money. A lot of people sign up for money. But there we are. Alright, we're on to the final mission. On to the last bit of this. Chess will say, faction warfare sounds like something that could totally be in place of invasions, especially with PvP aspect. Imagine even taking control over a faction troop like a normal Gregor Corpus. I see what you're saying there. It would take a lot of work, but I see what you're saying. Hello, Tim Richard. Excited about the new Warframe? Sure seems interesting. We'll see how it all comes together, yeah. Someone says to a pirate from very early on. Yeah, fair enough. I've dabbled in various parts, so I've done both solo and group wormholing, solo and group low sec, solo and group null sec, solo and group high sec, all of that lot. I've been in industry, mining, hauling, mission running, ninja salvaging, causing havoc for the mission runners. I have gate camps, I busted through gate camps, faction warfare, small gang, medium gang, been involved in large null fights. Haven't gone so far as getting involved in cap fights because quite frankly large capital fights do not interest me. I was involved in faction warfare to the point of the Gallente Federation taking every single system. All of them. Everything. The entire Caldari war zone was stripped bare of their squid influence. We took over. Medal achieved. Thank you very much. Naturally it didn't hold forever, but that's how these things go. once you've fully won, people will get bored.
Amar. He will close the distance shot.
Where is Amar? I cannot see through all of the mess of effects.
Look for the one that is
Melt him. No, where is he? There he is. Burn him down. Obliterate him. There we are. And Relic saying, caved in and bought a Torrid Riven, not sure if I'm regretting your giddy. I mean, Torrid's a very strong weapon, and the Rivens for it are very strong too. Enjoy. Still own a Titan? Eh, fair do. I do not have the funds for a Titan. I think I have like 11 billion liquid,
open this gate, even if their bearer
which is not even close to having a Titan. Hey, happy birthday, Thunderpants. Captain Underpants, yeah. Happy birthday, Captain. Nope, got stuck on the rock. Wah! Alright, whatever. You got that. You win. Faster than me on it. Oh, you were given a Titan. Well, fair enough then. I've never had someone rich enough to give me a Titan, but there you go. It's all good in the hood. Yeah, I got about 11 bill liquid, and then probably close to the same in just general assets as well. I own some Pocos in a wormhole system that I'm never going to go back to, because I have no reason to. But I own them, because why not?
Ancient records from old Earth, a naive tribute to ecosystems long extinct. Those savage jobs.
The Torrid Ribbon crit chance, multi-shot, electric, so corrosive. Alright, fair enough. Now you just have it at 150 multi-shot. Yeah, I mean, oh dear, that's not the waypoint I want to go to. That'll do some work. This is the direction. Get some kill stacks, because they are helpful. Charge up. Get rid of that thing before it murders anyone. Someone's saying, I like using marker trick on Amar and Gruzling. Oh, right. Sorry. You putting two R's in Amar really confused me there, because we got one R for Arc on Amar, and in either line there is the faction called the Amar. One of the major Empire factions, one of the four, two R's in Amar. So you really threw me off there. They have the Galente, the Caldari, the Mimita, and the Amar.
Amar thought himself a hunter.
It's all good. It's all good. Just chance coincidence. We have Amar on topic, you know. Yeah, I like using marker trick on Amar. The fuck's the marker trick? Amar and Gruzling. Wait, what's the Gruzling? That's Warframe. Oh, you're on about Warframe. The whole process in my head. Dear. Dark Wolf said, Torrid Ribbon with crit chance, crit damage, status chance, while the negative being less damage to Corpus. Is that any good? Yeah, that's great. That's great. I mean, the negative to Corpus, oh boo-hoo, you'll still kill the Corpus, they fall over pretty damn easily. Plus status chance doesn't really matter as much, but honestly, yeah, you've got a winning ribbon right there. I would want that status chance to be, you know, multi-shot instead. That would be great, but you're fine. Also, hey, Doubtful Shot and 20% chance. I didn't even run a prediction. Whoops. Frosted Santa, yes, the Tenet Glaxion is good. It is good. Alright then, mission successful. Mission successful. Alrighty, so with that out of the way, next thing on the docket is relic cracking. I spent a few ducats, not many, but a few ducats with Barrow. I would like to get some more relic pieces. Before we do that, before we do that, let's say hello to everyone who has just raided on in here. I'm going to apologise right now, I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce that. Is that Magic Thighs? Magic Thighs? Is that Magic Thighs? Now I'm really thinking about it. Is that magic thighs, or am I really missing? It's magic thighs. Yep, there we are. I should have known. Of course. It's the internet. I should have known better. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you very much for running over here with your community. I really do appreciate it. For those of you just joining for the very first time, I'm the Engineer, solver of practical problems here in Warframe, and I've just solved the problem of reading a username. Look at that, already off to a cracking start. Welcome on in, everyone, and I hope you're doing well on this fine Father's Day. Oh. Cheers indeed. Cheers indeed. Now, before we get cracking on Relic cracking, I am actually going to quit out of the game. Yes, indeed. I am going to quit out of the game real quickly, and it's very important that we do that. So let me just do this here. Exit game. And now with that closed, let's open up a Warframe, because I forgot to do that earlier, and now we can do it. Get that open, so we'll have the Relic overlay to help us out on this as well. Did I finish the Void Rig farm? Oh yeah, did the Void Rig farm the second time around, this time using my full account rather than just using it as if I was a new player. We farmed the entire set from scratch in 1.5 hours. 1.5 hours to get the entire thing. Isn't it like frame against TOS? Asks Sprigs and Twigs. Firstly, if I'm using it here on stream to hundreds of people, you would anticipate that I'm probably not using something against TOS. Secondly, D have not stated it's against TOS, so I'd love to know how you've come to that conclusion, to be quite honest. Because it's not against TOS. I would really be curious as to know how you've come to the conclusion. How's the new player experience like for farming Void Rig? After 3 hours, we were probably about halfway there, not including the time gates of trading in tokens for a week. That's how bad it was. That is how bad it was. So, unless that gets significantly changed, that's crazy. Correct, Eminix, yeah. A Warframe is use at your own risk. It's a third-party program, which means that D and Warframe will not endorse it in any way whatsoever. Absolutely will not. Because they have no control over it. It may become an inappropriate program tomorrow. The chances of that are beyond slim, but D can't make that certain, so they won't authorize it. But that doesn't mean they disallow it. Use at your own risk, but I can tell you that I see no reason to be concerned about it as an application in its current form. Yeah. Salvatore asks if Incarnate Bratton, do you prefer Bratton Prime or Bratton Vandal? Bratton Prime is going to be better. Just straight up, it's going to be better. The Primes are, by and large, the better choice in every Incarnate. Yeah. What am I inappropriate? In any way unsuitable to be used with Warframe without breaching TOS or other rules around it. That's what I mean, Timberjad. Inappropriate is a catch-all term I'm using here as a quick term to reference how people might go, but what if? Any of those what ifs that are a problem. Fill in the blank for your own anxiety. I'm not going to speculate for other people's anxiety, though. That's just not what I'm here for. Springs of 2 weeks saying, I was told that third-party things like Warframe, blah, 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 could potentially get your account deactivated, banned, etc. Someone told me straight up, hey, don't just say that anywhere. Yeah, so, Sprigs and Twigs, you were told by someone, a nameless someone, that something might happen, something. That's basically what that comes down to. And unfortunately, they are both correct and unhelpful in saying that. Because here's the fact. Let me break down a few facts for you, and for everyone concerned about a Warframe or other similar third-party applications. 1. D can ban you at any time for any reason. I want to make that very expressly clear. D can ban you at any time for any reason. Period. You have no recourse, you have no way to stop it. If they choose that you are no longer allowed to play Warframe, that is it. If that is their final decision, and they do not have any wiggle room on it, they do not wish to hear you out, tough, you are done. So from that starting point, now let's look at the other features that come into play. DE do not just willy-nilly ban accounts. They don't just ban accounts out of the blue for your average Joe. Sometimes people will get banned for what they think are frivolous or entirely imaginary reasons. I'm not going to go down the road of discussing all of these imaginary reasons because, quite frankly, we'll be here until we go blue in the face. Doesn't really matter to us. What matters is where it stands with third-party applications. D do not endorse any third-party application. This is not D banning third-party applications. It is them choosing not to support third-party applications. Very, very big difference. Much as how I do not support the over-focus on Ember's new skin's ass. Because I have no interest in focusing on such a thing. I don't ban people being interested in that. That would be ridiculous. But I have no interest in it. I do not support that as a thing. Fun fact, I'm gay! Alright, so, you know, put two and two together. That aside, Warframe doesn't breach any of the rest of TOS as described. It doesn't play the game for you. It does not interfere with the game's workings. It does not break the game. All it does, as far as we are concerned with it, look into the workings of the code if you wish. I'm not a programmer, but all it does is it reads what you're doing and gives you some information about it. That's it! It goes, yes, you have this in your inventory. Or you don't. There we are. Oh, you're looking to get this? Yeah, this is how you get it. It's information. Oh, hey, you just completed a Relic Fisher and you have these 4 options. Well, this one you don't have, and this one you do have other things in the set, and this one you've already mastered, and this one is worth 5,000 platinum. Hey, do you want to pick that one? Just saying. Yeah. It means, Captain Underpants, that the kind of things that a lot of gamer guys get excited about is not what I'm going to get excited about. Yeah. Like say, how can people trust such programs? Hey, Liar, do you use a mobile phone? Just putting it out there. Do you use a mobile phone? How can you trust a mobile phone? Do you know everything that's on your mobile phone? Have you checked every single line of code that's on your mobile phone? Have you checked everything that's on your computer? Do you know the kernels you're installing? What was the last update you installed? Now, I'm using a little bit of hyperbole there, but then you also just give the very broad question of how people can just trust such programs. Step 1, find a reliable source to trust. Do you trust me? Do you trust me? How's that? And if you don't trust me, shit, why are you even asking me then? Why are you even asking me at that point? No, Liar, you don't. You don't willingly share your account. At no point does Warframe have access to my account. Those are different things. The ability to read information about an account is not access to the account. In much the same way as I don't have access to your account here on Twitch, despite the fact that I can tell you, Liar771, your account was created 30th of August 2022 and you were following this channel since 1 hour ago and you have so far sent 17 messages in this channel. And if I were to go into the deeper systems of Twitch, I could get even more information about your account. Now, at any point there, does it sound like I have access to your account? Can I compare it to known brand apps? Yes, you can. Because some known brand apps will absolutely do some ridiculous things, like, for example, claiming, oh, we're totally not going to share your information with third parties and sell off your art. We're just going to be, you know, seeing the process that you do and definitely not using it to train our AIs. Also, we're called Adobe. Just saying. If you think that mainstream apps are above screwing you over at any point ever, you've not been paying attention to the mainstream apps that do screw you over in some way, or have screwed you over in the past. Oh, say it's not secret? Yeah, liar, 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 liar. I need you to grab this entire anxious ball of concern, and I need you to look at it and decide which lens you are looking through. Are you going to look through the lens of, what about my secret information? Or are you going to look through it the lens of, what information does it actually access? Because you're choosing to use one for one thing, the mainstream apps, and another for another thing, third-party apps like Warframe. You're choosing to express concern about one thing and dismiss the exact same concern about another thing entirely because you are aware of one brand and not another. That is entirely you. At that point, that is entirely you. And so, that brings us to the end of our conversation on the matter. Because if you're going to choose to look at two same things in two different ways, rather than equitably, there's nothing to discuss. Absolutely nothing to discuss. Yeah. No, Sprigs and Twigs, it's fine. You had a genuine question about Electroframe. I had a genuine answer for you. Other people have genuine questions, and then some people decide to not realise the questions they're asking and how they're asking them. And that's fine, that happens. Just came in, what's going on? Verve, what you actually meant to type was... Let me just do this for you. Here's what you actually said. And you see how the bot responds? It's great. It's a live stream. You're always going to be missing stuff. We're about to farm some relics, though. We're about to go farm some relics. Why do I have an inbox message? For the Comac. Mirror, thank you very much for the Zundi pistol skin. I'm not currently using the Comac right now, but next time I am, I'll try to remember to use that. Thank you. Right then, let's go crack some relics, and if you'd like to join me on that, send me a message in game. The Engineer, I'll bring you into the squad, just like we're bringing in Overcake Prime right now. Just like that. We have got AO Master looking to join in as well. There we go. And one more spot remaining for some relic cracking. Like I say, just send me a message in game. There it is. Solomir. Solomir, we have had you in a bunch of missions so far, so I'm going to give someone else a little bit of a chance there. Just so we have more opportunities for others to join in. But again, if you'd like to join me, send a message to me in game, the Engineer. Fair enough, Spriggs. Fair enough. Like I say, I mean, it's inevitable reality. To some extent, we have to share our data with some, but it doesn't mean you should. Liar, that's... yeah, that conversation's finished. I'm moving on. Not a computer. Fair enough, Logic. You're not required to join. Looks like it's Solomon. I ain't gonna wait forever. Ain't gonna wait forever. Oh, look at that. A capture fisher. It's on Eris, but it is a capture fisher. I do like me these capture fishers. They are nice for farming. I have 59 Axie 17s. What the hell? What? Anyway, it says Axie S3 is worth a lot. B8 is Radiant and also worth a lot. Let's grab the B8. Because it's Radiant and worth a bunch. So let's do that. That seems smart. Huh. Elia, I'm going to suggest that you change topic, or I'm just going to time you out because you're beginning to annoy me. You've just said the most pointless stuff twice in a row. Change topic, or I'm going to time you out.
You are here on a capture mission. You must find, capture, and extract our target.
Extract the target, we shall, but we're also going to grab this along the way. Oh, good liar.
Excellent work.
Let's grab the reactant. Never forget your reactant. I know it's a capture mission, but you always want to make sure you get it. You don't have to leave. You just have to not continue the same pointless topic. That's all. But if you can't do that, then yes, leave. Those are your choices. How do people have so many relics? I played the game a long time. It's simply that I've played the game a long time.
That was a juggernaut. They were lured out by the death of infested.
I mean, if anything, you'd be surprised if I hadn't got a lot of relics. Like, how have I managed to have enough time to open them all? Alright, Liar, we're not going to go down this road. You have now annoyed me. You don't seem to understand how this works, or how a live stream works, or how replying to people works, and I'm not going to allow you to ruin the stream for others. You are timed out for 30 minutes if you are still here. After that, you may resume chatting as a member of this community, not as a personal pity play. Thank you, and goodbye. I made it quite clear. Seriously. What do I say is my percent completion? No idea. We're fine for Relics, please don't. Let's see, what do we got here? Okie dokie. Well, this one is the highest of all the ducats. I don't need to mouse over them one by one, thanks to the overlay. And it's worth quite a bit as well, 19 plat, so yeah. Or, no, the set is worth 19 plat, the item is worth 3. So, okay, it's not worth that much, but still, I'll take it. I'll take it. Give it a cheers. Don't mind checking your ceramic dagger build real quick if I PM it to you. Yes, I do mind. I'm not looking to review individual people's builds right now. Certainly as a first message in the channel. Thanks on that. So today you learned what Warframe is though, so thanks I guess. Hey, you're very welcome, Enzel. You're very welcome. Oh. Didn't get reactant and I hate this tile set. What? Okay, sure. We have a spot open. I don't know why any of all of that, but sure, we now have a spot open. If anyone else would like to join in as we crack the next set of relics. You're responding to the previous guy. I've reached my end of explaining to people about how it is to respond to others and be clear on communication. I've reached my limit on that today. If I have to spend 30 years learning how to communicate with people, other people can at least put in the effort too. So, do as you do. Right, let's continue. Axie S3, that's got value. Let's do that. Actually, I could upgrade it, but yeah. I'll just farm the traces. Verve saying, man, buying plat kind of ruins the enjoyment of the game for me. Relics feel kind of silly to do now because I could just always buy more. I mean, only do what you find fun. If you don't find it fun to farm relics to get your prime parts, then don't do it, yeah. I absolutely understand the feeling of pointlessness. If you've got a whole bunch of platinum, then it feels like why farm when you can just buy. But at that point I'd suggest look to the things you can't buy. You can't buy a gaming experience. You can't buy progenitor weapons. Yeah, you can trade for the actual, what's it called, Akuvaliches. This is a Parvos, but you can't actually buy the completion. You still have to go out there and do it. You can't buy mastery points for platinum and so on. Focus on the bits that you can't buy, and the bits that you can, just buy it, I suppose. You got the platinum, that's why it's there, right? But I get that it is a cautionary tale as well to anyone thinking about buying absurd amounts of platinum. Decide how it may affect your gameplay, if you are the kind of person that could be affected like that. Also, whoever's target this is, you're welcome. Normally I just kill them. You're welcome. You bought a Necromecha plat? Yeah, same. I bought it with the release of Orphix Venom event, so the farm has gotten better since then, which only goes to show just how bad it was, to be quite honest, because it's still bad. You can't buy Archon shards for now, correct? Yeah, do the missions that get you those. I mean, granted, that's only up to what, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 missions a week, technically. Hey, Cindo piece, nice. That's a 15 plat right there. Scoop that one up. Ah, you're fine, Air Master. You're fine. Dev's gonna say, farmed every item in the game except Hespar Blade because that game mode is torture. Very understandable, yeah. It's a big thing to remember with any MMO, is that, well, any MMO with trading enabled, the idea is that you can trade what you have and don't need for what you need and don't have. In Warframe, it just so happens that the currency that acts as the go-between on that is also the premium currency. Imagine if instead we could trade credits, or if we could trade some other additional currency, whatever it be. Maybe we could trade void traces, maybe we could trade Oxium or something, I don't know. The point is that instead of using just a game currency, the only thing different about Warframe versus, say, RuneScape or World of Warcraft or various others is that the main tradable currency also happens to be the main premium currency, the only premium currency. But it's still just trading. And in all of those other games, hell, even in single-player games like in Skyrim, you will take the things you've got and don't need, you'll sell them to get currency, and you'll use that currency to buy the things you do need. It's a simple process. It's really simple. So, if you find yourself with an abundance of things you don't need, and with a glut of things you do need, make the trades happen. Simple as that. If you do not like farming for the Hespar, or for the Void Rig, or for anything else in this game, go ahead and enjoy it elsewise. You know what, I'm not going to keep burning these relics. These actually have a bit of value on them. Like, these need upgrading later, so how about levels of V10s? I have one, but sure, why not? Let's do it. Nice to have just one currency? Yeah. Well, one trading currency, but yes. In Skyrim, you can just rob invisible chests. Right. Moving on from whatever that is. Spring say, if it wasn't for its community, I wouldn't have been able to get the Void Rig as fast as I did. Yeah, fair do. If you are open to trading, you can get the Void Rig probably about 10 times faster than if you did it yourself as a new player. 10 times faster. El Wolver, thank you very much for resubscribing. You're up onto the full pot. €1 support on the channel here. Oh. Cheers, El Wolver. Cheers indeed. I think I'm pretty much out of tea at this point. That happens. Where's the dude? Oh, there's the dude. Alright, you got him. So an SO message, that is a long message. Chessbot, some time today from Cringe, how many streamers? MR103, Protea Prime access, and all the weapons viewable through Arsenal bought with flat. These people haven't got to know the game, have little to know Mars, brag about having everything, it's all the basic missions. There's a lot to unpack there, and you know what, I'm going to decide not to unpack it. I'll be quite honest with you. Unpacking that would get toxic, so I'm just not going to.
That did it. Here comes the
I'm just not going to.
The relic has been cracked open.
Now I kind of want to farm for damage parts so I can give them out. Maybe try and build a whole Void Rig to sell. Probably not worth it, but hey, flat. I mean, that's kind of what we did on stream the other day. I spent 1.5 hours from scratch, bearing in mind that I had virtually all the resources already. But 1.5 hours from scratch, getting everything piecemeal to build an entire Void Rig. To test how long it would take from scratch, but with everything unlocked as an advanced player. So yeah, if you want to farm Void Rig sets to sell, go ahead. Just be aware there is at least one change coming to Void Rig farming with the next update. So I would say wait 2 days, see what that change is, then start farming. Or you can farm now, but you may waste your time. Just fair warning on that. Ooh, Venka Prime Gauntlet. There we go. That's a shiny right there. 27 platinum. Now, if another gold item had shown up here, this is where a Like a Frame would really come into its own of showing which one to pick. In this case, it just happens there's only one gold, but sure, why not? But they're very nice to grab. Where to learn news about Weekend Booster? I don't know the news about Weekend Booster, so evidently not from me. Evidently not from me. Yeah. Do you guys think we'll ever see Octavia Prime unvaulted? Yes. When? Don't know. Changes Void Rig farming? Yes. DE have announced something. The full details of that something I can't give you because we don't have them. But at the very least, I think I remember them saying something about moving where you get the... either the broken pieces or the blueprints from, but I'm not certain on that. So let's just chalk it all up as one big wait 2 days and get the actual information, rather than trying to half-ass the info now. It's not worth it. That isn't a vaulted one. Why do I have a bunch of vaulted relics lying around? Those ones are going to need proper traces to be worthwhile. What are you? What's the G8? Okay, that's technically vaulted, but I have loads of them. Let's do that one. It's the 4th most valuable relic in the collection. And because there's so many of them, I don't feel bad about using it without radianting it. Let's use that. Do I think they'll ever bring out appearances back for primes? I don't know what you mean by that, Silent Knight, sorry. I don't know what you mean. Was it the blueprint still? Okay, I mean, moving the blueprints over to Father doesn't actually help, because you get the blueprints from the Heart of Deimos quest. So that actually doesn't do anything to the farm for Void Rig. Like anything, because no one needs a second Void Rig. If anyone sells their first Void Rig, they're an idiot. So I don't see how that helps anyone. If it moves over the Bone Widow ones, I can see that having a improvement. Well, to get the Bone Widow blueprints, you rank up Necroloid to max. That's it. That's the entire process. That's the only thing that is a significant difference between that and Void Rig. Which, yeah, is a process. Don't get me wrong, it is a process, but like, is it that big of a process that it needed to be moved over to Father, and that therefore reducing the value of Necroloid in the process? Because Father already has a lot.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find
As opposed to, say, just, if needed, bring Bone Widow down in requirements from rank 3 to rank 2. Because Bone Widow does have higher rank requirements in Necroloid than Void Rig. But otherwise, I'm not sure on the value there. And again, it comes down to what are D actually doing. Because all they've given us for the update, in terms of existing content being changed, is a bunch of headlines. The specific numbers are missing in too many cases. We'll find out. Just like we'll find out if they'll actually have the drop tables for things they have missing. Player best with the hydrate? Yep, 1 Secarinos. Cheers on that. Speaking of which, do you have a favourite artist, band, or genre you like listening to whilst playing Warframe? I don't tend to listen to a lot of music whilst playing Warframe. It can be quite distracting for me. The music I've got on at the moment is just a bit of synthwave that I can kind of tune out, I'll be quite honest. And it is quiet enough to tune out. If I will listen to anything whilst playing, that is worth more than this. I'm going to take the Sonos piece. Despite it being common, it's worth more. And I don't have it. But I suppose either various synth mixes, instrumental mixes, remixes of various Minecraft music can be quite nice from time to time. Some good old electro swing mixes can be nice. Yeah, I don't usually put on much in the way of players when I'm playing Warframe myself. I don't know, say I play Warframe so frequently, I probably have more vaulted than unvaulted relics. Yeah, that's fair. That will happen, absolutely. That will happen. Playboy saying they should add quality life, what relics are vaulted, can't remember everything. Well, I mean, I don't know if it shows in the Fisher window. Let's have a quick look. Has that just closed the capture? Ah, it just closed the capture on us. That's annoying. But we have got Exterminate Axie, which is a real nice one. Yeah, if you tab, drop sources. Tab, drop sources. Tab, drop sources. Tab, drop sources. Let's go down here. Tab, this relic is in the Prime Vault. For some reason, it's hidden behind tab. I don't know why it's hidden behind tab, but it is. But you can see in-game if they're vaulted or not. What's the best way to deal with Necromantic Demolishers? Lots of crit, lots of body shot, radiation damage, cold procs, or other slowing effects. That'll do a lot of work for you. Do Void Rigs use mods different to Warframes? Yes, they use exclusively Necromic mods rather than Warframe mods. It is exclusive. There is no crossover in mods between Void Rig modding and Warframe modding. There is crossover between Arcubex modding and Archgun modding because they're both Archguns. Basically. But that's it. Is there anywhere to see the Zaran bounty rotations? Warframe Hub doesn't say. I keep missing air like parts. It might be available on the wiki or some third-party tools. But that'll be about it.
There is a sanctuary target here, Hunter.
That would probably be about it. Yeah.
Track it with the synthesis scanner. Don't let it escape.
Actually, there's a thought. Does it appear on a Frame? Let me have a look here. Prime Resurgence, Barrow, Day-Night Cycles. At a glance, I'm not seeing it.
You need to take them out.
Yeah, didn't see it at a glance, sorry. Might not have some publicly accessible data on that. I don't know.
That's it.
It might just be tied to open world rotations, in which case you can learn which open world rotation you need. But I don't think that information is typically available in apps either. Typically. I might be wrong. Oh god, that speed boost is making it really hard to run around on this tile set. And I appear to be floaty. Good god, that speed is something. It's nice to have, but it's like almost too much nice. Yeah. Get rid of that. Protection, zap him down, off we pop.
Find extraction.
Bloody nullifiers. Do you know if Citrine's 4th ability crystals plus Banshee Sonar stack? I don't see a reason they wouldn't, but I've never tested the two together. Yeah. So, maybe. Strong maybe. Well, I don't want the former, so I guess Cobra and Crane Prime Blade. Splendid. You'll notice I have absolutely no pieces for Paris Prime because that is usually a very low value item. $65 Void Tracers though, that is not to be sniffed at. That is a lot on one run. Oh. Very, very nice. So it's the same. Paris Prime makes for good ducat fodder. I mean, you can use other things for ducat fodder as well. And Paris Prime doesn't have better ducats than other items. It just has the same ducats. Or worse. It's not really good ducat fodder, it's just ducat fodder. Unless you haven't built it yet, in which case go ahead and build it. You need 90 former if you want to max Nemesis weapons. You don't really need to max them though. Each former gives you an extra, what, 200 mastery points. When a normal level 30 weapon is 3,000. So that's not really a lot of mastery, it's certainly not worth it. Level them up for leveling them up. Request to switch over the music to vocal. Rock vocal. There we are.
There is a sanctuary target here, Hunter. I sense it.
You want to got everything else? Well, I mean, if you feel like the completionism is required, then go ahead and complete the completionism. Just be aware that is a self-inflicted goal.
The relic
Yeah.
has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find
Self-inflicted.
what's inside.
And I'm sure you are aware of that. I'm saying that more for the case of general response on it.
Keep fighting. As long
Yeah, I'll
as
roll
the
it up.
enemy is here, this tower is useless to us.
They're all dead. There are more enemies up top. Oh, enemies back the way we came from. Whoopsies. I'm going to let someone else kill that, and then I know where to go. Assuming that's not actually the way we should be going out. Now I think about it. It might be the way we need to be going. Nope, nope, it was just one straggler. God damn it. And now we just have a lift. Damn. There we are. I'm not fidgety, you're fidgety. Is everyone here? Yeah, we are. Alright. Don't think I subsumed an element onto that. It's not going to be as strong. I've just subsumed gas. That's... I mean, gas is damage. Yep. You gonna go get your heat Sobek? Yeah, go for it. Enjoy your Sobek. Double dash. Do I get a triple? I don't get a triple. Didn't cast it right for a triple. It is uncommon to be able to pull off a triple dash. It's not rare, it's not really hard if you're looking for it, but actually getting a triple dash on Lavos isn't the easiest thing. You need to basically dash into the perfect circumstance, and that is far from guaranteed. Shade, please. Yup. Both of these items are only worth the same roughly 3 plat, but this one's part of a more valuable set. So that works. There we go. Riska say, I just form up stuff at the moment just because I nowadays have a far better idea of how things work and simply now building everything with said knowledge. Yeah, fair do. Yeah. Grendel should be in a gas Warframe? I don't know that was required, but sure, why not? How long have you been streaming this game? Today, 1.5 hours. In total, I think I first started streaming Warframe Popper end of August 2020. Yeah. End of August 2020. Go for it, Queen. Definitely study the Sobek video. There are crucial elements to making it work as a proper nuke the room explosive that cannot be glossed over. Absolutely cannot be. Like, for example, if you skip out on using Zarta's Whisper or Toxic Lash, you are going to lose the nukage. Yeah. Wait a minute. It has indeed, Cofferel. It has indeed. And we're still going pretty strong here, aren't we all? We're still going pretty strong. We got new people joining in every day, every stream. We got plenty of people here who are part of the old guard and everywhere in between. It's brilliant. And look, right now we've got, what, 285 people here? That's incredible. Like, if you'd have told me back in August of that 2020, in the height of all the craziness happening with the bloody pandemic, if you'd have told me that right now we'd have 286 people watching, I'd be like, well, thank goodness I'm doing the right thing, but also, are you serious? 286? What? Here we are. And I know that's not the highest this stream's ever been at. Not my problem. My problem is that some of you may not have hit the subscribe button yet. No. If you want to hit the subscribe button, you're welcome to do so. If you'd like to ignore the ads, if you'd like to support me as a creator, it literally is what helps to keep this channel alive, to keep me doing what I do, and to support me with the videos I make as well. Because it's all one Kengineer channel, as it were. But if you don't want to sub, if you can't afford to sub, if you choose not to afford to sub, yeah, okay, that's fair enough then. You'll still get the ads, but it is what it is.
Well done. Now get to extraction.
Trade is a trade. Beyond that as well, there's also, if you want to go the extra mile, if you're not gifting subs or using bits, you can always check out the brand new merch store. Oh, baby, that's a 46 plat item right there. Okay, the entire squad in total just got, what's that? 160, 184 plat richer, 184 plat richer. Nice. Nice indeed. Oh. That's a slightly richer squad right there. Nice 600 ducats. Don't you dare turn that into ducats. No. Bad, Mirai. Bad. Just because you have all the plat in the world doesn't mean you turn that into ducats. No. Bad. Also, wow. I'm on exactly 100,000 standing with Arbiters of Hexes. That means I've maxed out the sooner, doesn't it? Shoot. I'm wasting standing.
Anything interesting?
You. Open.
Fascinating choice.
Got an axie. 2 axie. 3 axie. 4 axie. That's nice. And then the exactly 5 packs here. Another axie, 2 axie, 3 axie, 4 axie. I was about to get 5 out of 5. It felt like I was about to get 5 out of 5, and then I didn't. Alright. There we are. Am I giving it away? I mean, if you want to give it away, go for it, yeah. Sure. How do you get that platinum overlay after Fisher mission? That is the overlay from Warframe. It is a third-party application, use at your own risk, which you can use on PC. Warframe. Here we go. Wish Warframe worked on PS5. It is what it is, yeah. Something I'm going to be leaving after this one piece awaits. That's absolutely fine. Thanks for letting us know right now, because that means I can say straight away to people who are listening, if you'd like to join in these relic cracking squads, if you'd like to chance at that 40 plus platinum item that we seem to be getting out of these, then send me a message in game, the Kengineer. I can bring you on into the squad after this mission. And it looks like Oven Cake is already lining up for exactly that. There we go then. Oven Cake back from their cake break. Yup.
Use it. Search for traces of the target.
Roman as well, I'm just thinking about how many nanospores Mirai could turn it into instead. Oh, please do not encourage them with the nanospore stuff. No. No, that hurts so many people. It's just pain. Actual pain. Don't. There are people who don't know about what happened there, and we don't need to let them in on it, because no one will come away from that happy. I know what I was doing.
A dead specimen is useless to Sanctuary. Are you not up to this task?
Oops. Sorry, Samaris. Did I upset your little pet project? My bad. I do not care in the slightest. And let's get ourselves out of here. How do you farm the different relic types? Different missions. Higher tier missions will give higher relics. Just as a general thing. Beyond that, it comes down to what relics you're trying to farm, what missions you'd like to do. It's a bit of a broad question. But yeah. Trying to get the burster right now. Yeah, I mean, you'll need to look into what relics give you the bursten to then pick from there. Alternatively, you could just buy the bursten pieces for platinum off the player market, warframe.market. Is the website to check out on that one. Again, it's a third-party application. Use it at your own risk. Pretty much everyone uses it. But yeah. You can also Google the Warframe Reliquary. Let me see if I can get you a link on that, actually. Reliquary. Because I presume this is still being updated. Looks like it. Yep. So if I just copy this little Linkarinos right here. So you could use that as well to try and help narrow down where you get relics from and which missions are available to give you that relic. As well as if any fissures are open on said mission, if I recall correctly. So yeah, you can use that to help you as well on finding the bits and pieces you're looking for. That will only point you towards things that you can actually farm, of course. If it's not farmable, it's vaulted, then it's just out, in a sense. But yeah, so that is a website you can use. You don't even need to connect anything on that. It's just straight up information. Absolutely. Or you just crack open random relics, yeah. For common items like Burston, Bratton, Paris, you can just open random relics. Right then, can I get an invite? You absolutely can. There we go. Ugly Mech, I'm afraid you're a little too slow on the draw there. I think you only got like one mission with us earlier. But when a spot is open, you may be able to join us. Yeah, I understand. So as well, yeah. Alright, exterminate. Let's keep running. I still have more of those G8s, and they are valuable. So let's keep getting the value. Now let's keep doing that. Good Angles said, tend to avoid Marduk for Axie. Fair enough. You fat-fingered 4-star.
The tower's neural sentry is operational. I'm picking up multiple...
Pull out the squad. Hopefully that'll bring the squad together. Otherwise I'll just do a mass re-invite. Yep, that worked. Cool. Right, let's try this again, shall we? There we go. And let's grab the Relic G8 again. There we go. Off we pop. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, if you're earlier into the game, just blundering through relic missions, just public relic missions, open the relics you've got, and pick whatever's available that you don't have is brilliant. Once you are into kind of like mid-game of farming for prime parts, that's when you want to more target items, or just trade for items you haven't yet got. And then late game, you go back to doing what you damn well please again. Because at that point, getting the specific relic can be quite an ordeal. Especially if it's vaulted, and you'll probably then switch back to, hey, I've got plat, let's just buy stuff. Very much so. Alright, Relic is cracked because exterminates are cracked. Absolutely. Keep obliterating everything we can find. Oh, fine, I will. Come on, sit still, 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 sit still.
Use the synthesis device.
Got it. Got it. Does the Lecker frame show if you have vaulted relics? Yes. It'll show you a relic inventory. It can show you, if you look up a prime part, which of the relics you have, even if they're vaulted or not. It will walk you through all kinds of useful inventory details on that side. It is an organizational pro. I got access to it because it was developed after I no longer needed such things because I was so far into the game. But I still have it for the overlays for relic missions. That's very helpful. And it is also very helpful when it comes to trading those prime parts. Because in a mission... Sorry, not in a trade, if I complete a trade with, say, a Brook Prime Systems or even a Brook Prime set, whilst I have those listings on Warframe Market, it'll detect what I've just sold, and then it'll mark those things as sold on Warframe Market for me, so I don't forget to do so, or even need to spend the time to do so. If I'm juggling like 6 trades at once, that is not uncommon for me when I do trading moments. Get one person sorted. Yep, that's that mod sold. It's ticked off for me. Yep, that's that item sold. It's ticked off for me. Ding, 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 ding. Keeps it nice and clean. So yeah, a Lecker frame is able to provide a lot of ancillary support items there. And that whole marking off the items on Warframe Market, there's a third-party app working with a third-party app for third-party things only. Literally nothing to do with Warframe itself at that point. Yep. Fishwick saying, with Telecon around the corner, I'm seeing lots of vaulted relics popped. Yeah, that happens. I need to double check on my void traces, how many I've got and what my capacity is. Exactly, Racecar. Having information at your fingertips is a big part of what it does. Ah, there we are, we've got plenty of space. You'd have to list 100 mods. I mean, if you wanted to sell mods, you can. Yeah. And it can help you on that as well, helping you find the valuable ones, helping you find the things with duplicates of, making sure you don't accidentally sell things you haven't yet mastered, because you could set up the filters to handle that, to sell just sets if you want to just stick to completed sets of items rather than selling things piecemeal. It's got all those bits and pieces to help you out. Seriously, when I recommended it across a total of 6 videos, one of which was a guide to the app itself, as it was then, it's had improvements since then, I didn't recommend it just for the hell of it. Yeah, it was a sponsorship, but I didn't just take that sponsorship blindly. I looked at the app, I looked at what it did, and was like, yeah, this is absolutely worth talking about. Because you'll notice there have been very, very, very few sponsorships across this channel in general, and only one of them does not fit the full criteria of being exactly the right type of thing to be worth sharing with you guys. That one was the very first sponsorship, and if anything, that was an advert to sponsors. Hey, let's work together. That's what that was. I'm very open about that. Alright, let's see where these enemies are all at. All the way up here. Gotta love that bullet jump velocity bonus. Oh, it helps so much. That marker seems like it is a sim target, isn't it?
This tower is useless to us.
Damn, too late. You skip elevator in this room? Yeah, you just jump up. Travis asking, wouldn't it be profitable if D just bought Warframe Market website? Depends on how you're defining profitable, to be quite honest. Wouldn't it be sensible to just incorporate it in-game? Yeah, that'd be nice. Imagine if they implement in-game auction house like World of Warcraft. Yeah, then Warframe dies. And that might sound like hyperbole, it's not. By doing that, Warframe dies. The Warframe you know and love will be gone. It'll be a nightmare to get new players into the game. The game dies. I didn't mean to press that.
You have broken their ranks.
They can bullet jump around.
Another successful mission. Find extraction.
If they've not already gone up, actually. I think they've already gone up. Because, again, you can skip that elevator too. At 12 said, only issue I have with Warframe is the ribbon-related things, not good enough yet. Okay. Raise it with the creator. Yeah. I'm going to take the Cobra and Crane hilt, because I don't actually have any of those, and so that helps get me towards a set that I can sell. Yup. Raptor says, speaking as a console player, wish Warframe had functionality like Warframe. I get it. Warframe is very bad at handing out information, just as a matter of fact, so yeah. Yeah. It is what it is on that one. How well do they explain the Lavos abilities, actually? With how thoroughly we know them, let's see. What can I call out that they're not saying on these abilities right here? We'll go through the tips first, just to check the tips and then go to the pages themselves. Elemental damage can be combined and imbued into Lavos' abilities. Hold 2 or hold single, yeah. Clear the current imbued by casting, yep. All of them can deal 2 status effects at base, yep. Imbued elements are added on top of base ability, doubling damage, yep. Non-damaging status effects will apply multiple stacks at once, yep. Increased ability duration, increased duration of status effects. Caused by Lavos' abilities. I thought it was all status effects he does. Flat. So I think that might actually be incorrect. Or at least, not incorrect so much as incomplete. I think this tip is incomplete. Combined with his high armor stat, a fitting bite makes Lavos a tough Warframe to kill. Healing scales based on total damage dealt. Try to hit multiple enemies at once. Yep. Vile Rush can be interrupted by casting ability and or by jumping. Yep. Number of Vile Rush charges affected by range mods. Yep. Effective use of Level's abilities requires mastery of transmutation probe. Cast a group once for cooldown, blah blah blah. Yep, that's right. Recast transmutation probe as it is moving will pause the probe in place. I did not know that. Huh. Yeah, I genuinely didn't know that. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Since Levels does not require energy, efficiency only affects effectiveness of transmutation probe's cooldown reduction. I feel like that should be clarified to add in the augment. And catalyzer damage is double for each unique status effect applied to the target. Take advantage, blah blah blah. Sure, why not? Alright, so what doesn't it explain here? What doesn't it explain here? Lash out with Toxic Serpentine Strike, assuming the target to heal Lavos, halt to imbue with Toxin, blah 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 blah. Doesn't mention it opens them to finishers. That's kind of important, you know? Like, that is a key feature of it. I don't know why that's not mentioned. It opens enemies to finishers, staggering them briefly. It's odd that there's no mention of that. Like, there's room to put opens enemies briefly to finishers. Vial Rush, dash forward, crashing through enemies, leaving an icy trail of broken vials. Hold to imbue next ability cast with cold. Yeah, that's fine. I would have in there, recasting whilst the trail is active causes the old trail to vanish, dealing all its damage instantly. It's missing that. Will the probe still do damage for the remainder of its duration if you pause it with recast? I think it can only hit an enemy once in the area, but if it's held in space, it's still going to have its area, yeah. Transmutation probe. Launch a probe that converts health and energy orbs into universal orbs, provides both, and iron pickups and universal pickups, yep. Probe shocks enemies in close proximity. Each execution 5 reduces other ability cooldowns by 1.5 seconds, yep. Although it should just say reduces other ability cooldowns because cooldown reduction changes from that 1.5. Just saying. And again, this one doesn't mention that it opens enemies to finishers, which is another thing that it does. So that's a note there. Because it wasn't in the tips neither. Could also do with a note that it goes through walls, perhaps? Well, no, the probe doesn't go through walls. It hits walls. Maybe it should mention that? I don't know, but the finish is what matters. And then Catalyze. Catalyze probes erupt from Laos and douse combatants in a fiery gel. Damage doubled for each element afflicting an enemy. Okay. It doesn't say that it's a ring with a certain fixed height to it. I'm surprised it doesn't mention those. Because that's kind of crucial to how it works. That it is a ring. I know visually you can see he throws them out on a ring, but there's a lot of abilities that have odd visuals to them to make it clear it is a very thin cylinder. I'm surprised it doesn't mention anything about that. The whole damage is doubled for each element. Fair enough. You can probably infer from that that it means each one doubles on top again, like actual doubling rather than plus 100%. So that should be alright as is. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else that it needs to call out. So not too terrible, not too terrible. Alavos is actually pretty well explained in game. Couple tips that could do with updating, and then this and this could probably do with talk about finishers. This could talk about the recast. But not too bad. Yeah, Tharos' Strike looks like it's got multiple different hitboxes when actually it's just got one simple cone. The shields that it sends out are disconnected from that. They are just a demonstration of the range, but there are no gaps in the ability, despite it looking like it. Okay, random question. Does true damage ignore shields? Wiki mentions this thing called cinematic damage, like true damage. Oh god. Oven Cake, you are getting into a dark territory there. Dark territory. What you have discovered is the arcane reality of so-called true damage. There are 3 types of true damage. The truest of true damage. The cinematic damage. And shield damage. What we know as true damage exists in 3 different forms, and the game at no point ever will tell you which one you are dealing. This can be demonstrated most successfully with Clervo. Because when you use Clervo's abilities, specifically the Collective Curse ability, you will damage other enemies for precisely the damage dealt to an enemy that you targeted. But that damage that is shared, it does not include any defenses such as armor. But is this true damage? Is this cinematic damage? Sometimes if you strike shields, you will only strike shields, dealing nothing to health, which leads one to wonder, what are you achieving at all? And what you are achieving, the astute will notice, is every type of curious damage all at once, but not at the same time, because the only way this game is held together is by confusing you at every turn. So when you ask about true damage and cinematic damage, and hinting therefore at shield damage, understand that you are touching on a layer of reality I doubt even most Warframe devs are aware of. Heed Michael, there be dragons, and they are not kind. So yeah, there you are, pretty much. It turns out that slash proc damage is not true damage, but we refer to it as true damage because the community just refers to it as true damage. There is no consistent reference to these damage types in Warframe unless you're looking at the code. Yeah. It's just there, it's confusing, it hurts the brain to think about. So try not to. When you do encounter it, make sure you understand it. Keep talking, it's amazing when you say damage. Okay. I don't know how to take that one, but sure. Let's do an exterminate. Let's do some more damage. Yeah? How's that? Thank you, Philosopher, for this arcane knowledge. You are very welcome, young Padawan. There are a few reasons to bust out the overly dramatic approach, but yeah. They're going to change it with the update now? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. We don't know.
Aren't the first ones here. I'm detecting multiple enemy signatures, and they're all under the control.
Yeah, when I was made aware of the complexities and the intricacies surrounding true damage, cinematic damage, shield damage, all referred to as true damage, I just... That's my honest reaction to it. Just... I'm not sure why D needed to make such different unreal damage types that act in such weird ways, and then why they're not explained in game in the slightest. I do not like. Like, why we do this? This game is complicated enough. Why we do this, D? Why? And I don't actually know what the answer is to that. Why? I'll just say, when you do finish, we'll start a Who's That Pokemon Roulette for the damage.
Another successful mission.
Sure. Yes, I know what you mean by that. I'm familiar with Who's That Pokemon, and I know exactly what you mean when you combine that with finish damage existing. Yes. Very knowledge, much yes. Yes. Do you have something like a wish list of what you hope the damage update will change? I do not, Swamp Bear. I do not have such a wish list. And the reason being on that is that if I make a wish list, all I'm going to do is disappoint myself for the things on that wish list that don't happen. So rather than wishing for what could happen, I instead observe what does happen and then make of it what I can. If I live in a world of what ifs, I live in a world of disappointments waiting to happen, is how I've come to see things, certainly when it comes to game updates. Live for what exists, and if it has not yet arrived, see it coming, and brace for impact. Simple as that. Alright, before we get cracking on another mission, there have been far too many hydrate redeems so far this stream, so I'm going to be back in just one moment. Don't you go anywhere, and be kind to the chat. We don't need to have 20 million drones in the chat. I think chat is doing pretty clean right now. We don't need to be cleaning it up any further. I'll be back in just a moment. Well, I did specify about the drones, and then what on earth has happened here? My word, that is a lot of emotes. That is a lot of emote spam right there. Good God. Good bloody God. What is all of this? Oh, dear. Interesting way of putting that, Boss Meatball, but yeah, sure. Queen, you can stop now. You can stop. You can stop. Imagine if chat was always like this. Oh God, could you imagine? Like, on the one hand, that would require me having a stream of like 5,000 active viewers, which, you know, that would be great. Not gonna lie, if we had 5,000 people here constantly, that would be great. But it would mean that Twitch chat would be an absolute cesspool of unreadable spam. Yes. At which point I'd have to basically dono all messages. And that wouldn't be great, now would it? That wouldn't be great. Anyway, shall we continue? Oh, there's a capture on Ara. Alright. Screw you, Exterminate. We've done enough axes. Capture it is. Let's see. Come on, Lekka, what you got for me? K7's a value. What is a K7? Oh, Karis stuff. Yeah, sure, why not? K7 coming up. Queen just got timed out for 69 seconds. Yep, there we are. Yep, saw that coming. Saw that coming. Cheers, Sil.
You are here on a capture
Off we
mission.
pop.
You must find, capture, and extract our target.
Oh, I crashed. Didn't mean to do that. And blappinate the area. Yes, got the capture. Are you safe to use Warframe? So, use a Warframe at your own risk. It is a third-party application. D do not endorse it.
Extraction point. Well done.
I have to remind you that as a result of D not endorsing it, you may wish to update yourself on their third-party policy, or their third-party program policy. So, that aside, I would say that on the balance of all probabilities, yes, you are safe to use it. I am currently using it right now. And considering that Warframe is literally a major component of my job and therefore living an ability to, you know, pay bills, considering that I also then use the Warframe, seems I consider it pretty safe. So if you trust me, then you can trust the Warframe. Should that assessment ever change, don't you worry, I'll make plenty of noise about it. It's not changing all this time so far. You trust me? Brilliant. I'm glad that you trust me. I'll download it. Go for it. Go for it.
The relic has been cracked open.
Yeah, when the
Finish your mission.
website has my logo on it saying, yep, the Kenjinu is a user of it, that's because genuinely I am, and they have my permission to have my logo on there saying, yeah, look, this guy right here, this creator, uses the app. That was an important part of our agreement. Boop. And drop right there. Oh, almost right on the edge. That is a whole load of bupkis. Yep, I do not like the look of any of this. I only have one barrel, so let's grab a second barrel. That way I'll be one step closer to a set of that. It's deceptive. It says owned, but you need 2 items, so let's grab that. Ayo Master, I will not steal your domestic drones and have them as my orbiter. In fact, I removed the vast majority of domestic drones from my orbiter because it was causing lag. And it was making the stream lower quality. So I will not be stealing anyone's drones. Thank you very much. Also, I'm very glad that you guys did not force start and use me as a golf ball. Okay, asking, Ken, do you have a favourite Warframe quest or other bit of lore? That's a damn good question. I don't think I have a proper answer for you, to be quite honest. I don't think I do. Favourite quest might well be Chains of Harrow. Maybe. But it's hard to say, because there's a lot of quests and it's hard to really balance them against each other like that. Like, there are ones which I wouldn't put as highly, easily, but it's hard to put the top one. Bit of lore outside of quests, again, very, very hard to pick. Very hard to pick. I do think it is interesting looking into the story behind Tikka, like Tikka's lore. And fair warning, anyone who looks into that, prepare for a sad result. Do I know what conceptual embodiment is, Ken? Yeah, when emotion and void, or is it consciousness and void mix, you get reality. The void manifests reality from consciousness.
Well done.
You literally think things into being, whether you want to or not.
Well done, Tenno. Your
Ticket lore? No, Tikka lore. The character in Fortuna. Any preferred frame other than Lavos? I mean, you can basically look at my profile and look at the usage stats if you want a full breakdown. But it depends on the situation at hand. What am I doing? What am I trying to achieve? What do I need? You gotta remember, practical creator right here. So the practical solution is what's going to be focused on. Lavos is a multi-tool Swiss Army knife of a Warframe that is also exceptionally resilient. Hey, look at that! Cobra and Crane Prime Guard. Splendid. That'll go with the other piece I picked up moments ago, which means I now have a 17 plat set to sell. Wonderful. Lovely. I do like that. $2% on the gold. It's always nice to get, isn't it? Is Relic cracking? I think that sums it up right there, Madman. That you just saw, I think, sums it up right there. Oh, yes, indeed. And you all, too, can have yourselves some good luck if you just subscribe to the channel. Totes my goats, that's 100% how it works. I mean, there's a 50-50 chance I'm right, you know? Either you do or you don't get better luck. So, those odds feel like odds to take, right? Sub to the channel, support the channel, and may your odds be ever in your favour, however that phrase goes. And you have to sub? I mean, you're benefiting from the good luck we're already bringing in here, right? Okay, thank you very much for subscribing with your Prime up onto 14 months of support on the channel here. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Cake. Oh. Cheers indeed. Got some pants saying smells like BS. Well, you could be the other 50% because Cake just got good luck during the stream. Got that lovely, lovely golden piece, and they're a subscriber to the channel. So I mean, you know, you put 2 and 2 together there. I'm getting 4. What are you getting? 10? Might be counting in the wrong base. Seems to me it works, even retroactively.
Mission complete. The captive has been escorted to
I was aware of things like that, silently, yeah.
Well done.
Kind of how the whole Cephalon process works. I need to get 3 more reactant. I'll probably get it just running through the mission. Especially as the enemies kind of die just by looking at them. Near enough. 2 more reactant. Okay, actually getting to the point where I need it to appear in front of me. There we go. That should do it. Or maybe not quite. 1 more. There it is.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission.
Ta-da!
What's inside.
That is an excessive amount of bullet. Gauss being Gauss right there. Alright. Gauss being Gauss. Okie dokie. I have no S16JUN Prime pieces. I must have recently sold a set. Let's pick up one of those then. Although Guando is worth more apparently, but it's only a common and I have a bunch of those already. So I'm going to take the S16JUN one. I know it says Guando is supposedly better, but yeah. Yeah. Build towards something I don't have. Or at least don't have as a set to sell. Philor, if you're referring to the guide I put together for how Ash can just one-shot like almost everything, D absolutely did change things. I thought there was a pinned comment on the video pointing that out. I thought there was a pinned comment on it because, yeah, D fundamentally changed how mods are working on Ash. It kind of came out of left field that they did that, but yeah. It was changed not terribly long after the video came out. It's real sad. And it's kind of understandable. Ash was ludicrously powerful at what he was doing there, but it was also what he does. And that was basically it. Yeah, fair do, Phil. Fair do. Yeah.
We received intel
It's just the
that some of
situation,
the
unfortunately.
enemy
The
operations
longer a video
find
is
them
live,
and capture
the
them.
the greater the chance that what the video says is going to be inaccurate in some way or not. Some videos I will put old into the title if it's completely unhelpful information now. Or if there is a more up-to-date video that one should go to instead, to try and get the YouTube algorithm to deprioritize it. That's basically the best I can do without taking a video down outright. Taking a video down outright, I'll only do in exceptional circumstances, or if I'm embarrassed by the video.
Your part is done here.
I'll be honest. There are some particularly embarrassingly bad older videos which are just gone.
The relic has been
And for good
cracked
reason.
open.
They're
What's
bad.
your mission to find out what's inside?
And mission successful. Yeah, Ash can still get work done. It's just not anywhere near as powerful as he was. Oh, do you want former or the better former? I'm bloody daft. I can get the Bronco piece. Why not? It's a piece I don't have. I don't actually need it. Can't remember. Lies, there's no such thing as bad engineer content. Oh, there absolutely is. There are a few of my streams which I have not put onto the replay channel because the content of that stream, how I ran the stream, simply was not good enough. Sometimes it's not up there because the actual stream upload failed. If Twitch has an issue, if there is a break in the stream, it just kills the VOD. And unfortunately, it's lost then. But there are a couple where I've just straight up not put it over because the stream was not good enough quality. Where how I ran that stream was just not suitable. That is the problem doing things live. Sometimes I reveal the fact that I am human more thoroughly than I prefer to. Yep. Do I upload VODs to YouTube? I do indeed. Every single stream, bar the ones I get really embarrassed by. Yep. Exclamation mark replays for the link to that channel. That channel has like less than 1,000 subscribers, but that's fine because it's not for anything other than just the replays.
We're here to find our target.
But if you do want to catch any of the older streams, not just the ones Twitch has deigned to keep around, but literally pretty much all the older ones, that's the place to do it. You can see all the old crappy lighting setups I've had, and the different overlay pieces. Have all the past content from Warframe streams to various other games, including the large number of Among Us streams we did during the pandemic. That we did Among Us for longer than I had intended, I'll be honest. It kind of really took over Variety Friday. It just made it Among Us Friday for a very long time. But that was also really helpful to the core crew of people we had there,
Finish your mission
because for a lot of them it was the biggest event they could look forward to.
We'll interrogate the captive back at base.
I
Your
was,
part is done here, Taro.
More fortunate than others because of the nature of what my work is and how I do things. Whereas others who were just stuck in a house with not a lot of amenities and not a lot of options, they gave them extra, just nice, positive social moments where they got to stab their friends in a video game, you know? So there's a lot of it there. supporting those close to me. And those close to those close to me. We needed a bunch of people. Honestly, just saying one unarchived stream that I'm sad didn't get archived, the one that started the caption project. Fair enough. I'll be honest, you remember those details far more clearly than I do. Yeah. Simple as that. I have not been paying attention to where I've been running through this mission, not gonna lie. I was talking all that. Ooh, hello, gold. Nice! That's a pickup right there. Free spot and squad after this mission. Excellent! So for someone who'd like to join in, in fact, Ugly Mech, you'll get first pick on that if you are still online. Otherwise, it'll open up to anyone else. I think Mirror Labe also said they were going, or is that the person who is going? Who knows? You need this one? Well, there are people selling it on Warframe Market. Alright, so we have got a space available now for someone to join into the squad. If you'd like to join, well, first let's check. Ugly Mech, are you still around to join? Do you still wish to join? Is the game going to send you the invite? Okay, it sent you 6 invites. Ugly Mech, take your pick. If you're still around and wish to join in. Cheers, Salvatore. We'll give him moments on that, otherwise I'll just open the floor to anyone else who wants to send a message. We're going to have to have Atlas Prime Neuroptics Relics? I can have a look for you, absolutely. Wonderful. Anamek has joined the squad. Let's see then. So Atlas Prime Neuroptics, what relics could they be in to see what fish is worth trying for Rubengate here? Atlas Prime Neuroptics. I have 2 Neo A5s. Ooh, that's a bit of a stretch. We can try it. We can try it. Neo. It is just interception. Oh, we could do one of these ones. Let's do Conjunction Survival. Because then if you have different Atlas Prime Neuroptics relics, like Axial Lith, we can open them at the same time. So that makes sense. We'll do it that way. This is what the Omnia Fishers were really made for. Be able to cross relic types for the same item if needed. So this works. Yeah, don't worry about it, Madman. When it pops up that Warframe spammed them with invites, they actually only received 1. It means that Warframe's screwed up somehow, but the other person only sees 1 invite. It's still ridiculous that it spams the hell out of your chat though, like what the hell, DE? Come on, how does that happen? No more Tinkerbell for you? I mean, you can still use Titania if you want to. No one's stopping you from doing that. How many fishes are very good as QOL? I don't like the fact they restricted the number of missions they could be on, and they're all endless missions.
Save some for me.
I don't understand why DE did that. There are some endless missions they didn't touch, and then there is all of the non-endless missions in those same regions that they just ignored. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's landing craft so cool. Ah, thank you. Appreciate it.
There is a sanctuary target here, Hunter.
Sanctuary target here as well? Good Lord, Samaras. Do you want everything? Yes, he does.
Don't let it escape.
Yes, he does.
All manner of Orokin technology may work here due to the Circulus's proximity. If
All
you
right.
have a Necrolec.
I'm going to switch back over to Corrosive as the bonus element. It just works best with the modding I've got. Do I have everything on higher settings? Graphically, I don't think I do, no. I certainly have some things toned down, because otherwise the visual noise gets insane. But even beyond that, I think I have some things turned down. I'm only running a decent graphics card, not like a top end, and I'm running a single PC setup, so I have to turn some things down, otherwise the stream just wouldn't be stable. It's just the unfortunate reality of it. Maybe one day, when we have 5,000 viewers, I'll be able to afford a nice proper setup, rather than this office I'm in at the moment, which is more of a converted broom cupboard, I'll be quite honest with you. But it does the trick. Can't be mad at the broom cupboard that's brought you all of these bits. Brody wants to change the music to whatever I want to change the music to. Well, synthwave time as is. Hold up. There we go. Is it already possible to opt for better damage numbers, the ones that don't obscure vision of target? You can just turn them off. You can make them translucent. You can make them smaller. You can use condensed damage numbers that don't have the full number, but instead say like 4.9 M for 4.9 million. So there are options to reduce it in various ways. However, there is yet another update coming out in 2 days' time, which will make it where the damage numbers explode away from your target. Which means they're like this. Okay, they died very quickly. That's not a good demonstration. But like the numbers that will block them normally, those will move out of the way, so you can still see the headshots. Yeah. That's not here yet, that's in 2 days, but there are still options you can take right now. In fact, if I do this, damage number scale down, compact damage numbers on. Let me show you the difference there. Also, fun fact, you can search settings. See, those numbers are tiddly tiny now. So tiny. Which is a problem if I'm trying to do research on a weapon to easily see the damage numbers and get the exact values as to what is happening. But it is perfectly fine if you just want a quick reference as to what is happening. But you see, still, when you get a spray of them, it can still get in the way. And for me personally, I find the translucent version doesn't make it any better. It still blocks my vision, because there's still a mess of stuff, but now I also can't easily see what the number says. It's just kind of... it's the worst of both worlds to me. For others it works, but not for me. Not for me. I haven't got all the reactants yet. Oh, there's reactant over there. Beautiful. Ugly Mesh, please make sure you are picking up reactant. You are only on 3 at the moment. This is not your typical resource farming survival. You need to move around the map. It is imperative that you move around to where everyone's been shooting, because we are not sat in one spot.
Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside.
There we are. They're up to 7. They know what they're doing now. All good. I was saying, imagine damage numbers will make testing smidge easier. Yep. Fewer numbers will be overlapping in quite such extreme manners, so especially for high fire rate weapons, it is going to be easier for me to see the damage numbers and discern exactly what is happening from them. Far fewer overlaps in the wrong places. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be better.
Those oculists are scanning for targets.
Oculists have scanned. Off they pop. Yeah, high multi-shot, high fire rate. Same difference to this combo, yeah.
They know you're here. Prepare for sentient fighters.
Same difference. Alright. We're nearing 4.5 minutes. Roughly 30 seconds to go until both the reward and the spawn of some nasty nasties. Void Conjunction, there are sentients present. This is Conjunction Survival, Void Fisher. The sentients may not like being here, for one reason or another, but they still want to fight us. Sure. Whatever their motives are, they are present.
The longer you hold out, the deeper I can search. But if you need to leave...
We got some new Thraxplasm as well! Hurrah! What wonderful, wonderful discoveries we have. And the loot is... oh, a Wukong piece. Nice! 9 platinum, and it's a piece I did not have. Excellent. There we go. Alright then, Atlas, Prime, Neuroptics, Neo A5, there we are. Give it one more shot for you. And then I'll be out of the Atlas pieces.
These manifestations, they aren't from the neural sentry. Destroy them. They are drawing from your life support.
Well, they died quick. Yup. Just obliterated whatever those were. And we're back on the reactant train. LC.say, D has been cooking with these quality life changes. Enemy highlights, take your corner fix, soon quick loadout edit on navigation, don't damage numbers. Yeah, they are continuing to improve the game in good ways. It bears repeating, D demonstrate that they definitely do play their own game. Because you'll see in so many games, or so many digital programs in general, where updates seem to just make it worse. Enshittification, as some refer to it. Warframe doesn't have that. There are times where you wonder about the changes being made. D are far from perfect. There are some changes or choices that leave one scratching their head. But those are the exception in Warframe, not the rule. And that's a big part of why we enjoy it. Did I rad the Atlas Relic? I did not, no. I am saving up my traces. I'm trying to build up more of a collection, so I did not rad it. I still brought the Relic to give you a chance, but that's the extent of it there. If you get it, you get it. Well, about armor? Salvatore? Unfinished. Point is unfinished, but sure. Flint Steel saying, you don't think I would want for D to change the AI of the game so I can actually play Nyx? You know what? I'm not touching this discussion again. I don't know if it was you or someone else that brought it up last time. I'm not touching this again. I mocked the ever-loving hell out of someone last time they made such a broad claim about the AI of the game. I'm not touching it. Am I using Warframe Info? I am using a Leica frame at the moment. Warframe Info is an alternative. I have switched to preferring to use the Leica frame. But you can use either. Salvatore, you're talking about the make partial armor strip more effective thing. Well, we don't actually know what D are doing on that yet, because they haven't given us any of the information other than that. The headline, make it more effective. At the moment, it might as well be a manifesto. It's just that D are in charge, there's no voting them out, so their manifesto will be implemented. If they implement it well or not remains to be seen. We'll just have to see. It remains to be seen how it's implemented. I mean, they may implement it wrong mathematically, not realizing the actual nature of the approach. Or they may understand that. They haven't asked me for any consultation, they've got no reason to, so whatever. But it means that I don't have anything in terms of knowledge as to what they are implementing. We'll have to wait and see. I only have 2 reactant, and it's 1.5 minutes to go time. Oh shit. Where's the reactant all spawning? Why is none of it spawning by me? Why has everyone else got all the reactant? I'm over by Ugly Mech, there is none over here. How the frick has he got 10? There's none by him. Okay, gonna go over to the others. If they move away from the reactant, I am screwed. Ah, I hate reactant. I hate reactant. Where even is it? Where is it? How is there just one piece over here? Where is it? There is a bunch. There is a bunch. Okay. Is that enough? That's only 6. What? Where is the reactant? I have 50 seconds. This is some bullshit. I've been constantly killing enemies. I have the 2nd highest kill count. Where is my reactant, DE? And people wonder why I complain about reactant in this game. Was I not active enough? Was I not killing enough?
If they detect you,
Was I killing too much? Were these corrupted enemies not corrupted enough for me? I don't have that last reaction. I've got 15 seconds. Get corrupted! Are you corrupted or not corrupted? I can't even tell if you're the correct corrupted. There is no way for me to tell them apart. 5 seconds. Give me my reactant. I have killed the enemies. I have done the mission. Time's up.
Came here in search of treasure, but only found oblivion. They are trespassers here.
Time's up. No, nope, didn't get it. What did I do wrong? Aside from just not be stood. I went to all 3 of my teammates. I went to them actively. I went to my teammates. I did the thing. I'm leaving the mission. We're done here. You got your piece. Be happy. You got your piece. I literally did what is supposed to be done. Get me out of this mission. I nearly hit an exit. What the actual fuck am I supposed to do? Aside from be happy for... Okay, they got their item. There we are. Lucky them. What the hell am I supposed to do? Other than actually just hold hands and sit in a corner with the group. I moved around. I noticed with 30%, more than 30% of the round left. Because, yeah, the rounds are 5 minutes. I noticed with over 1.5 minutes left that I didn't have reactant. So with over 30% of the round left, and for some reason only 2 reactant being in my pocket, despite being one of the highest kills on the team, with 30% of the mission left, I went around to pick up the loot, and the loot wasn't there, despite other people picking it up. And I have no way to identify which enemies are in the ready state to be killed, because they're all fucking corrupted. That's stupid. That is absolutely stupid. Reactant is an outdated and broken mechanic. I've said it many times before. I want someone to point out now if they really genuinely think that I played that mission wrong. Did I play that mission wrong by going to all 3 of my teammates for where they were fighting enemies, for checking for the reactant there, picking up everything available, getting as many kills as I could in a survival mission? Is really the only way to play this mission to sit and hold hands. Yeah. Someone clip this and send it to D. I made my point to them at TennoCon last year. I was there in person speaking to the very makers of the game. When they asked, when I was asked the question, what would I change? What would I remove? Reactant was my answer. Decouple it from Relic opening. Didn't happen. I was active the entire time. I was completing the mission objectives the entire time. Yeah. I don't care whether it's the Atlas Prime Neuroptics or literally 4 former blueprints of 4 Bratton Prime barrels. Doesn't matter. The fact that reactant could be missed is the problem. The fact that reactant is tied to it in such a stupid fashion, and to this day continues to fail despite someone playing the game clearly as intended. I could do nothing. Make it a team pickup? Make it a team pickup or just not have it. What is the purpose of reactant? Anyone who thinks that reactant should still be tied to the opening of relics, I want you to give me in a single line what you think the purpose of reactant is. Anyone who thinks it should be tied to the opening of relics, give me one line as to what you think it is. Orphan says anti-AFK. Cool, right. So that means it can't be a team pickup because that would still allow AFK. So that doesn't work. But here's the thing. Is it anti-AFK? And the best way to implement that? The game already has anti-AFK measures. The game already could just not award you it if you don't actively partake in any part of the mission. Does it feel at any point there that I was AFK and yet it punished me? Force it to drop from Xmas? That's not necessarily a solution. Sounds nice, not necessarily a solution. Solomon's saying it makes you waste time so you don't bum rush captures back to back. They could straight up either make captures longer, make captures always turn into exterminates if they are relic fishers, or make captures not part of the relic fisher cycle if that was a concern for them. They absolutely could do that. That is not a problem with opening relics, that is a problem with the capture missions being so brainlessly nothing that you can complete a capture mission in like 15 seconds if it weren't for a reactant at all. And, fun fact, the reactant in a capture mission is almost never an issue. You have to actively forget about reactant at every step of the way for it to be an issue there. Because as long as you're killing a few enemies along the way, it is stupidly easy to get a reactant. It's even easier in Exterminate. Have you ever run a 5-minute Exterminate mission? First of all, that's ridiculously long. A 5-minute Exterminate mission in a Relic Fisher and not got enough reactant? You have to be doing something really wrong then. In fact, would you get most of the way through an Exterminate mission and then focus on getting reactant and still fail? Well, it failed there. It failed there. The other saying, I'll have it be every single X amount of kills, which fixes the someone nuke the enemies so the enemies don't get corrupted issue. Again, that comes down to just making the reactant no longer a problem. Why is it there in the first place? If it's just always going to be there, why did it exist in the first place? Nah, I have a serious issue with the design of reactant in Warframe because it's just so outdated and just continues to punish everyone but those that need to be stopped in some way whatsoever for AFK farming or bot farming. I have only seen people have issues with reactant when trying to play the game. I have other anti-AFK measures could be brought in to prevent AFK. Easily others. Leozy says it's way worse on consoles since we have fewer enemy spawns. Yep, there's that as well. Got AFK or bot farming will happen regardless if people try hard enough. Here's the thing. AFK, you obviously if someone spawns in and doesn't move, they're not going to get the reactant. You know what's great about someone who spawns in and doesn't move? You also can just detect that. A game can just detect that. Hey, look at this person. They spawned in. They didn't walk anywhere substantial. They certainly didn't get to extraction. They didn't get any kills. They didn't make any attacks. They didn't do anything. Yep, they're AFK. Don't give them anything. If a person can get to extraction, then in the current system, they will be able to get the reactant if it is there available to them to pick up. If they just walk around a bit, they will get it. A person could absolutely not contribute anything to the mission, just walk around and open relics. I am almost tempted out of spite to do that now for the remainder of the stream, to do nothing but farm the relics by existing. Does that sound like a system which is preventing abuse to you? Compared to second most kills in a survival mission, moving between all my teammates to cover all the areas, didn't open it. Yeah. How often do I stream Warframe? Every Wednesday and Sunday. Is this my main game? Yes. I am going to solve practical problems. I also have a YouTube channel full of guides to Warframe, plus a few silly videos here or there on Warframe as well. Absolutely. So if you're looking for a new Warframe streamer and general content creator, welcome on in. You're in the right place. I also ramble about Warframe quite a bit at times. Quite a bit. But yeah, reactant as an anti-AFK measure doesn't work. Reactant as a did you participate in the mission measure doesn't work. Reactant as a slow down the mission approach works unreasonably and unnecessarily. Because one of the very fastest missions, it doesn't slow down at all. Exterminate. Leozio saying, what about having enemies with infinity? Leozio, I'm going to stop you right there. You're trying to increase the chance of reactant dropping rather than address the fact that reactant itself is the issue. Why don't we just make it where every single corrupted enemy drops to reactant? Why not just give it all at the start? You get 10 corrupted kills, boom, you got your reactant. Why not? Because that's the very same question. No matter how you try to spin it, the tweaks and changes, either there is a risk of not getting a reactant, or there isn't a risk of not getting a reactant. If there is a risk of not getting a reactant, why is there that risk? If there is not, why is there the reactant system? And why is it tied to opening the relics? So D could look into 50 million different ways, including just ramping up the drop rate tenfold in these endless missions. Because it's only the endless missions it's really a problem. You can over speedrun a capture and walk into issues, granted. You can over speedrun low-level exterminates and run into issues, granted. But in almost every issue of Reactant, it comes down to either endless or split missions. So missions like Spy, where everyone's encouraged to just go to separate ways. Any mission where there is an encouragement to split up or a limited number of enemies in a endless mission, that's where Reactant's got an issue. And you basically never get it on Exterminate. D could tweak the hell out of that instantly, but it still just begs the question as to why the hell we have that system. Why? What's the best character in the game? As in best Warframe? Lavos, that's why I main him. Exclamation mark Lavos for the Why Lavos video. Voice, how about this? You lose your weapons instead, destroy the Void Relic enemies. Not helpful. That's a bad joke. Not helpful. What's a Green Archon Shard? This one increases the corrosion stacks by +3, giving me a 98% armor strip with 13 stacks corrosive. Which is pretty nice. As opposed to Reactant, which is not pretty nice. Honestly, if the Reactant just dropped as a matter of fact, if you were certain, if you were just partaking in the mission, you always got the Reactant, sure, why not? They could make it where Reactant... they could have, say, 3 Reactant pop out of every console you hack during a mission. Imagine that. If 3 Reactant popped out of every console you hack during a mission, do you know what's the #1 thing that's on about there? Spy missions. You go through a spy mission, if your team splits up, it slows it the hell down because now spawns are all over the place, there's a very good chance you won't actually get the Reactant you need. If people stick together for a bit, and get the spawns, you get the Reactant, and then you can split up and do the mission, which is stupid. Why is Avoid Fish's Spy, where it recommends, hey, can you just not do the mission for a bit? Can you hug each other's hands? We know there's multiple objectives and 4 people, but how about you'll hold hands for a bit? It's stupid. It's unfun. It is genuinely unfun. But if hacking a console gave you 3 Reactant, then if you split up 3 different ways to do 3 different Spy vaults, at minimum you're going to have 2 consoles per vault. That's 6 Reactant right there. Probably should be 10 Reactant, but 3 per console to get it started because there'll be some kills as well. But yeah, honestly, yeah, Travis, you're right. The best way, well, no, it's not quite the best way there, Travis. You're saying the best solution for Reactant could be the way Railjack Voidfisher works. This is what Travis is saying. Where if one squad member gets to Reactant, everybody does, and if someone is AFK, they do not get anything. That is the second best way. Second best. Best way is to simply not have these issues in the first place, because you could still end up with plenty of missions where there's just not enough Reactant. The game goes, oops. We didn't think you were going to kill that fast. For whatever spawning reasons, we didn't give you enough corrupted enemies. The dice rolls didn't give you enough reaction drops. Screw you. Go scrounge the entire map, see if there's an enemy spawn you didn't trigger yet, otherwise do one. Why? Why is that even a thing? In what other universe, what other game does it spawn a mission with an objective and then not actually give you the objective? Why? What other game does that? And is it a good game? What other good game will give you a mission and not spawn the objective in sufficient quantity? What affects the reaction drops? Because some squads have somebody nuking the map. Have about every single. Yeah. So the drop rate per enemy is different on different missions, and the rate at which enemies get corrupted is different on different missions. And then you've got the constraints of some being a time basis. So, what it comes down to is that they've got these different dials and these different levers, and they could try and tweak any number of them, and instead what we get is still not getting enough reactant. I know I'm labouring this point, but I want to make it very, very clear. For all the changes that could happen, D haven't. D know that people will run fissures, and through, as far as I can see, no fault of their own, through trying to do the mission, fail. Because. Just because. It's one thing to say, well, in a defense mission or a survival mission, you need to slow down. Wait for the enemies to be corrupted before you shoot them. Which is ridiculous in itself. Hey, do you want to play this looter-shooter? Cool. If you want the loot, stop using the shoot. What the fuck? For starters, what the fuck? But second to that is the fact that it can just not happen. It just doesn't give you it. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200 ducats. Why? Why in the world does each mission type have different drop and spawn rates? It's pointless and unnecessarily meticulous. Yep, go figure. I don't know what the values are. D hasn't shared those values, but you can see it plain as day. If you go into an exterminate fissure, you start killing corrupted enemies, the reactant floods in. Now you go to a survival and you start killing enemies, it just drops a bit by bit. You go into a defense mission, you start killing the enemies, you'll get a couple per round. The comparison is insane and plain as day. Yeah. Stupid. Stupid. All the way stupid. So, Overcake, I'm glad you got your piece. I'm glad it still managed to drop from someone else bringing the relic, because D decided no one was allowed to access mine and I wasn't allowed to access a reward. And I will say D decided that, because they decided the systems that allow this to still go wrong. They could fix them, they could do better. They didn't. That's my rant for the day. They could do better, and they didn't. And they continue to choose not to, on something which surely, at minimum on just pure drop rate basis, is damn easy to fix. Tell me now. To take this to absurdity, tell me now. Would anyone here genuinely have a problem? Would anyone here see a problem happening if every single corrupted enemy in the game had a 100% reaction drop rate? 100%. Let's take it all the way to absurdity. What problem would that cause in Warframe? Would anyone be able to farm things more powerfully than ever before? Would anyone be able to break the game with a 100% reaction drop rate? Because actually, I don't see a single problem with that. Oh sure, someone could start a capture mission, walk into one room, and have basically all the reactant. Yeah, that's basically actually how it is in Exterminate, near enough. You don't see any problem, it's actually your suggestion? Yeah. My point is, that shows how pointless a reactant system is. And how easily D could just dial up to 11 and say, cool, yeah, we fixed it, whatever, we don't care. Leo's saying performance. Well, the thing is, once you picked up 10 reactant, you no longer see reactant. It's gone.
Well done.
It's just
Change of
gone.
plans.
And if it dropped 100% right at the start like that, as soon as all 4 squad members has it, the game no longer needs to drop reactant. Job done. It's done. It's gone. It's out. Mission over. Oh, we've turned our capture into an exterminate. Sure, why not? Can complain. Make the wish longer. Actually feels mean. Yeah. And if anyone from DE is watching any of this rant and still happens to be around after I ranted so hard, the rant is well deserved. I don't use these rants lightly. I don't go off on one over petty, pointless shit. When I say y'all personally, those involved with choosing what to develop and what not to develop, y'all personally decided to make the system like this. Where is our reactant? Y'all could fix this in less than half an hour. Genuinely less than half an hour. It would not take that long to fix this. Permanently. Never ever an issue again. Ever. And if you wanted to make a better system later, you could get around to that on your own time, rather than ruining ours. We have 9 reactant. And because it's a capture mission turn exterminate, there were not that many enemies, and now they're all dead. There are 98 kills between us. We don't know how many of those are corrupted, because the game won't tell us that. But that's it. We are hunting the map to see if there is an enemy spawn somewhere. Anywhere. Hopefully, maybe one enemy, and I don't think there is. Would a fix and even just a drop race reaction or a hot fix? Pretty much everything requires a hot fix, yeah. So probably. But that's it. Alright, this mission's a bust. Unless we could, like, if someone has a Stalker beacon or a Gust Strike 3 beacon that might somehow cause a new enemy wave to spawn. A beacon might do it. I don't know. Never tried. Never even thought it worthwhile. This is dumb. This is just dumb. Even if you wanted to say, oh, well, it's anti-AFK and slow down protection and whatnot, to make it where you can't speed through the mission. Why has it stopped spawning? The most obvious of things. Keep them spawn. Any of these solutions can happen. And they've done none of them. Just none. If they've made tweaks before now, they've made tweaks knowing that those tweaks were insufficient. Going, oh, well, how often is it going to go wrong? Yeah, fun fact, often enough that it's happened twice on the same stream. Yeah. Yeah. Miriam was saying, I can only assume, but if the drop rate is 100%, the drop chance booster is worthless. I have the drop chance booster right now. You gave it to me, Miriam. It's the one you gave to me.
The Kengineer! Oh my god! Wait,
Thanks,
right
Andrew.
here? Kengineer.
Well, you know, that's actually taken all wind out of my sails for Relic cracking today. Good thing we're at the end of the schedule slot, but I'm not going to let this one overrun because that has actually just soured it right now. That's fully soured that. That was so stupid. So, Air Master, Oven Cake, Ugly Mech, thank you very much for joining in. Enjoy the prime parts D allowed you to have. That is really souring. It's a bit like that. And I hope that DE does understand this message. It is bits like that that make someone close the game and play something else. It is bits like that that, despite all that Warframe has to offer, it is bits like that that get someone to not open Warframe next time. It is bits like that that makes them look at what they've got and go, don't want to go through that again. Whether they believe that it's the game's fault or a squad member's fault for killing wrong, the fact that you can kill wrong in these missions that can somehow trigger the game's fault. However they attribute the issue. Those are the kinds of moments that get people to just go, I'm going to do something else. And we don't need those moments in Warframe. Yeah, sorry, to use the verbiage from their survey, as you put it, this isn't respecting your time. Yeah. So that's an insulty end to stream, unfortunately. That is where we're going to wrap it up as soon as we've done the Platinum giveaway. So if you've not already grabbed a ticket, exclamation mark ticket in the chat for a chance to win it. Exclamation mark ticket in the chat. Maybe I'm saying, I know, but I suspect that that's the reason why it's not 100%. The drop chance booster only counts for your kills. So to say, then the drop chance booster applies to the entire squad, first of all. If it doesn't apply to the entire squad for the reactant, it's a problem. Second of all, reactant is not a resource, so it shouldn't affect anyway, Mirrorlay. Excuse me. Third of all, if the drop chance was 50%, the drop chance booster would still bring it up to 100%, and 50% would still mean you would need typically 20 of those corrupted kills to get all the reactant. And it is certainly not a 50% drop rate. And regardless, if the only way to secure a mission actually working was to have a booster, that is bad design, which is therefore indefensible, and so the presence of the booster has no effect on it. No effect that we can accept as players, or that we should accept. Yeah. When I make a forum post, I did better than a forum post. I spoke to them in person at Canada when they invited me there and asked me specifically what I would change about Warframe. I mean, how can I do better than that? I want you to be honest with me. How can I do better than speaking to DE themselves at their offices and give the express point about reactant? How could I do better? And do you really think a forum post would be better? They've heard it from me. So every single issue that you have reactant, if you ever, and I do mean ever, complete a mission where you were part of the mission, you were actively part of it, and you didn't get to have a reward, DE decided not to let you have that. DE chose. DE chose. Alright, if you haven't grabbed a ticket now, it means you didn't want one, so let's close the entries for the giveaway. Let's see who's going to be the winner of the Plat giveaway today. That winner is going to be Lol Gamel Smurf. I think I'm reading that correctly. The giveaway bot takes away all capitals if there's any in there to help us out, but I think that says Lol Gamel Smurf. Congratulations, you are the winner today of the Platinum giveaway. I'll be contacting you via Twitch DM shortly after the stream. I need to get hold of your Warframe username, your platform, and your cross-save status. We'll get that Platinum sent on over to you. Congratulations on that. To everyone else, thank you very much for joining in on the stream today. If you do enjoy these streams, if you'd like to support me in everything that I do, consider hitting that subscribe button. Or if you don't want to subscribe via Twitch, that's perfectly fine. You can support me over on Patreon as well. Exclamation mark Patreon if you'd like a link to that. But for now, we are going to be raiding on over to another part of the Warframe community. Let's see, who can we raid today? That is the infinite and immortal question. Always a thing at the end of streams. Twitch is trying to suggest a raid browser to pick a raid, but you know what, I'm just going to scroll a bit and see who do we want to go to. You know, it feels like it's been a hot second since we went to Kodama. It feels like it's been a hot second since we went to the Kodama, so we're going to go there. That is the pickup right now. Yep. They've been live for a while. They might be wrapping up relatively shortly, I don't know, but we're still going to go on over there. And if they bounce us to someone else, then they bounce us to someone else. That's fine too. So the raid is up and active. We're going to pop on over there. Thank you very much everyone for joining in today. I do hope you have enjoyed yourselves, and I will see you in the next one on Wednesday. Release Jade Shadows as well. In the meantime, have a good start to your week. I'll see you then. Bye bye.